What is going on, everybody? Yes, we got a late start here. Welcome to Ray's Cigar Lounge Live. I am with the man here. It is Old Fogey time. And of course, you don't know me, I am Ray. Here we go. Boom. All right, we're on it. And with us tonight is a very special guest, Old Fogey in the building. Here he is.
Hey.
Good to have you, man.
Glad to be here, Ray.
Thank you, man. It's good to see you too. And as always, flying in back from the lounge, man, Hawkeye right over in the building right there. Right.
Hey, Hawkeye. How you been, brother? I ain't seen you in a damn minute. Yeah.
He said, "How you doing?"
Pretty good. Just hanging out. Give me 1 second. I'm in the middle of a game. I'll turn it on my phone so I can see y'all.
He's gaming, doing this thing. And we just came back from doing everything. And I know some people be like, "Where are you guys at?" But we're here. We are here. We are doing it. Fogey has been very patient with us. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, it's all good. I ain't got shit else to do. It's late.
Nice. Hey, well,
I was like, fuck it. I had time to smoke a cigarette before you got in. So,
oh, man. Hey, there you go. That's all right, man.
Ray's been dealing with the drama.
Hey, we all dealing with the drama.
Yes, yeah. And my parents, oh man, fun times. But tonight we are smoking on. This is the Perdomo, the Maduro, 10th anniversary right here from Perdomo. So
yeah,
get that one.
I've got one too, and mine is. I figure this is going to be a long show, so I've got the Churchill chopped up and ready to char.
Okay, very nice. I'll go ahead and get this one hit up and ready on here.
I got the same cigar.
Hey, yep. Hawkeye's got the same one as well.
All on the same page tonight, man.
All right. So, man, we're getting those lit up. If you like what you see, y'all make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all check out Old Fogey as well. And if you really like what we do, make sure you scan that QR code. It'll help us out there. It's a little something in the PayPal, just a tip jar. If not, liking and subscribing definitely goes a long way. So, anyway, because some people have asked how you want to support
the show is a big part of it. Just being with us and hanging out with us while we enjoy something that we love to do. And glad to have you all. Hey, Shock. Good to see you, brother. Good hanging with you last night, man. We had a really good time, and glad you're here, brother.
Yeah, good to see you, Shock. I was watching. Yeah, Fogey, he's making the rounds. He was on Rise and Grind last night. He's here tonight. He's doing something else tomorrow. He's making.
Yeah, I'm gonna dip my toe in the water, so I'm gonna do a live stream tomorrow morning at 10:10. Super Bowl Sunday, and of course my Chiefs is out and long out, and shit. My football season's been over for weeks because I just was like, I can't watch this shit no more. I can't do it.
Yep.
And but it's okay. We had a great run, and that first Super Bowl that we won, I was just I was on cloud nine. I've been a Chiefs fan ever since I was a little boy. Went to my first Chiefs game in 1973.
Okay.
And just being around that and I'm actually glad to have a break, because it's a lot. It requires a lot of your time, a lot of your attention when your team is on fire and they're hitting and they're winning games by minimal margins, but they still win and they still get in, they do their thing. But I'm just I'm glad to take a break. In fact, I probably won't even watch the Super Bowl tomorrow.
Interesting. Okay.
I will probably, after last night and tonight, it'll be Old Fogey's nappy time tomorrow. I'll be catching up on some sleep, my man.
I understand that too. Hey, I understand that.
Just for the record, my dad's been a Chiefs fan, I don't know, since the 80s. 80s or early 90s.
Yes, he has.
And he literally cried.
He did.
Like there were tears coming down his face. Went for the first Super Bowl they won a couple years ago,
and the second one too. He just got up, went into the kitchen, and he just started crying. Like, I've never seen this man cry in my life. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's just like, "I'm good." And he just walked back, and I said, "Oh my God." And everyone they wanted them to do the three-peat. I remember them saying that mantra. They can get three of them. And I was like, we can try, but yeah. But it's been rough for the Chiefs. Yeah. But I know they had some injuries.
All good.
Going on. Yeah.
We've had our day in the sun, and you know, it's time for another market to get an influx of money from the NFL and do their thing, because we've got a bunch of it. In fact, the Chiefs just announced that they've been in Jackson County in a publicly funded stadium with them and the Royals in the same spot for decades, and their lease runs out in 2030, and they just announced a couple of weeks ago that they're getting ready to build a $3 billion stadium out in Kansas. They're leaving Missouri, they're going to Kansas. And, of course, they got to have a dome to be able to host the Super Bowl. Yeah. And they want that. And, we got a lot of excitement here in Kansas City. So this year, the World Cup soccer championship games are going to be here. So there's a lot of people here in Kansas City that are like, Airbnb in their basements, and they're extra. Some people are leaving and going to their lake houses and renting their houses out, making some money. And they're talking about, over $1 billion in, economic revenue coming to this city because of the World Cup championship, the FIFA World Cup. Yeah.
Incredible. And good for the economy there. That's awesome.
My team will probably never host a Super Bowl.
I was about to say, Hawkeye, it's your time to shine now.
They'll play Packers Super Bowl, but they'll never host it.
What's your team, dude?
Green Bay.
Oh, gotcha.
They're competitive to be in the Super Bowl. They're just not. They'll never host it because they're not getting rid of their stadium. They'll renovate their stadium. They're part of their system is they're a cold weather team, and that's what their tradition is. They'll never build a dome.
Yeah.
All right.
Doesn't mean they can't be in the Super Bowl, though. They just can't host it.
Yeah, they just can't host it.
There you go. Y'all got knocked down. You said you got knocked down in the playoffs against the Bears.
Against the Bears.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I didn't mind losing in the playoffs, but I did care about losing to the Bears.
I care about losing to the Titans too. I said, Lord, we losing to the Titans. We in bad shape, man. I said, Lord.
Well, Jimmy's a Hawks fan, and good for you. I feel that your team is probably going to do well. They've turned up their game, and they are doing some good things. And I hope you get to feel that excitement, and I hope you get to see what that's like.
I have already.
Yeah, and the Seahawks used to be in our conference. In fact, I was at that game when Dave Craig was quarterbacking for the Hawks, and they came to Kansas City, and Derek Thomas, God rest his soul, big Chiefs Hall of Famer and everything. He got 6 sacks in that one game, and it was a record. And I was at that game, and I used to watch the Seahawks play the Chiefs a lot.
Nice, very nice, man. All right. And also, just a little tidbit as well. We are also streaming on the Ray Cigar Lounge Facebook group. So if you don't have YouTube or a Google account, you can also watch it over there. The Facebook stream doesn't stay up. I think it goes down after 30 days once it posts. So you want to watch the main thing on YouTube, but we are streaming over there. Just so y'all know that as well. So come on in wherever you can.
If they're on here watching you say that, why would they switch to Facebook to watch you?
No, I'm saying
the ones that are on Facebook right now,
right? Who can? Because some people just watch it on Facebook.
Yeah,
just because it's streaming
it's
there.
just
So
weird.
yeah, I mean, it's just another way we can stream there as well. So
Well, I'm just thinking you're advertising to people that don't have YouTube and sitting here saying if you can't get on the YouTube channel, but how are they going to see this?
they click on the Race Cigar Lounge Facebook page. It's streaming on there too.
Okay,
that's
It's streaming live.
the beauty of StreamYard. You can stream to multiple platforms at once.
Right.
How are they going to know you said that if they couldn't see?
I know, right, Shock? And it was so crazy, man. So Derek was headed up to the Kansas City International Airport to go pick up a buddy and bring him down. And it was a really snowy, icy storm that was going on. And his SUV slid off the road and he died. You know, it was a freak car accident. I met Derek Thomas. He used to live over in the Cliffs, which is not too far from here.
Oh, wow.
And you know, he was you know, basically bookends with who am I trying to think of? Oh man, I can't remember his name at the moment, but they used to go to some local bars, hang out, drink, party with people, share stories. They'd buy people dinner, and just a beautiful human being. And to lose him in his prime and everything, it was just it was a horrific event for all of us Kansas City fans to lose Derek Thomas.
Yeah, that's huge.
When you lose an NFL player, it hits, especially when they're still playing, it hits the whole NFL.
It does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're against that team, you still have sympathy for them losing people. I mean, it sucks.
Yep, it's all about the respect and sportsmanship and that camaraderie as well. Yeah, with that. And it looks like we have Mr. Jimmy says he hasn't caught a live stream in a few months. Got some puppies right after Halloween, so
it was Neil Smith, Derek Thomas,
but Neil
Smith was the bookends. In fact, Neil Smith still, you know, comes around the bar scene and goes to like used to go to Hooters a lot, and then he started going to the Twin Peaks, with the chicks, all dressed up and everything, coming and waiting on you half naked and stuff. And but he's still, and he coaches Little League. He's got some Little League teams that he coaches and does some really great things for the kids. And Neil Smith, Shock, Neil Smith, exactly. He's a great motivator and proponent of bringing them up young and bringing them up right, and teaching these kids what it takes to become a champion, and instills that in them at a young age.
Definitely need more of that. Definitely need more of that going on there. All right. Conversation there. Nice.
It is late.
Well, I love the Perdomo stuff, man. And when we talked yesterday, it was like, what, because we all wanted to smoke the same cigar tonight.
Yeah, that was my goal. Was just gotta have a unified thing, and I'm running around and I'm like, I can't believe I didn't put this together. Instead, we just trying to scramble together and put this. But yeah, it worked out there. Yeah, it worked out.
I have quite a bit of stuff in my repertoire to pull out from. So it was like
Yeah.
I knew we could find something that you guys could get at your local that
Yeah.
I had, and what better than a Perdomo, man, or
Yeah.
it's
Good, good cigar,
Nick
common,
makes
everything.
great cigars, and so does
Mhm.
his son, and
Yeah.
I love their stuff.
I was recently like as I'm at work, I was watching like their YouTube videos and watching their factory and how they make stuff and that and like the insides of it. And I'm like, oh man, that's like really in depth and like really cool the way he does all of that and how he's like not just the guy sitting in the office watching people. He's like on the lines pulling out
Absolutely.
the product
Well, in
doing all that.
the
I like that.
so when I was talking with him, that's when the Legacy first released, and they were here, one of the first cities that they went to, probably in the top 10. And he was talking about how the Legacy was something that his son Nicholas put together for him for his 60th birthday. And it was a tribute, and he didn't even realize that Nicholas was doing that, and had been in the factories and had been with the growers and put this blend together for his father
Yeah.
in honor of his birthday. And Nick was just floored. He just couldn't believe that his son went to all the and it's been great. I mean, everybody's raving about the Legacy line and the
Yeah.
12-year and all that,
I
and
love it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was in my top 10 for the year. The cigars, that Legacy that he had. So it really made an impact and great flavor and stuff to it. So yeah, definitely. Hey
Yeah,
Larry,
for
how
sure.
you doing? Yeah. And I saw that episode they were interviewing Nick Perdomo. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I got a little bit of it, but yeah, no doubt. No doubt there.
How's the weather down there today, bro?
It's not as bad as usual. It's about 37 right now. We like I
Yeah.
said, me and Hawkeye, we're out here in the tent just kind of chilling out.
Well, it's not windy and blowing and raining, so
That's a plus.
you got some peace and quiet going on in the tent tonight.
I love it. Yes, I love it. It was so bad. I mean, y'all saw the live stream. It was all over the place. It was, oh my gosh.
Oh, when was that, last week?
It was last weekend, and then the week before it was so bad. It was raining so hard.
Yeah, it just kept pounding, and it was like you could hear it. It was like, oh my god.
Like, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't really that distracting, but it was just like we could feel what you were going through.
And I was like, oh my goodness, no. And now everything is just so still and nice. So it's like nice campfire weather where we are. So it's great.
Oh, dude.
This is all his wife will let him put up right now.
Right now, yes. So hopefully in a year I can get like a shed or something, like I can just put all this stuff out here, be nice and cozy throughout the rest of the year. But we do all right out here. It's not bad in the summer.
He's gonna have to do some bribing. He's gonna have to keep the kids over a weekend or something for her.
I've kept the kids over like she goes to Disney with like in the
I kept the kids last time they went to Disney. Thank you.
He did. Hawkeye did help. He did. He did.
What are you guys drinking tonight?
I have just some soda, something non-alcoholic. I'll probably pull out a beer in a little bit.
I was gonna drink the other one.
And
I didn't know which one was yours.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And Hawkeye's got another non-alcoholic pairing with that. What about you, Fogey?
Well, I started that way last night, but I was coming off such a high from being on Marvin's stream last night, and I had such a great time. And I got fucked up today. And I've been dealing with my wife and her jacked up tooth and getting ready to go next week and have oral surgery and this, that, and another, and taking care of my baby girl and getting groceries. And so today I stopped off, and last night I was drinking a Boulevard. Well, I'm drinking another Boulevard. So this is so they have this Neapolitan pack. So it's a vanilla stout and then a chocolate ale and a strawberry. So it's like I've got those three. But these are like, dude, this one's like it's like it's 13% alcohol, you know, so just slow sip, and it's like drinking 3 or 4 Budweisers, so but it's going really good with this Maduro.
Okay.
And
Not
I was
beautiful
just like,
pairing.
I'm kind of celebrating, like I said last night, I've kind of cut down a lot on my drinking. I don't drink the whiskey much anymore. I just
Yeah.
can't do it,
I don't either.
And,
Yeah. And I'll come out here mostly and just like have a beer or two. Like I don't even drink throughout the week. So it's just like when I come out here, that's when I mainly do most of it and such. So yeah.
yeah, and a
Okay.
lot of times I pair stuff with like a sarsaparilla, a good cream soda, a Mexican Coke, that kind of stuff, and a lot of coffee, dude. I pair lots of coffee, that I've got a local roaster that roasts up this Ethiopian Yirgacheffe, and then I also really enjoy like a good Blue Mountain Jamaican coffee, and just I pair a lot of coffees with my cigars, and it doesn't always have to be liquor, and it shouldn't be, especially at my age. I can't, I got to get up and function,
I get that. I understand.
those nights and weekends of staying up all night long strictly on whiskey, those
Can't do that
days are
anymore.
long gone, man. I can't do that shit no more.
I feel that. I feel that.
I never wanted to do that. I never cared to do that. I've done it once or twice, but shoot, that not remembering the night before, I can't have that.
I got it all out in college. I was done. I said, man,
we were done.
Oh man,
without alcohol.
I've hit it hard. I've partied hard for years. I mean, I'm an old deadhead. I used to follow the Grateful Dead around.
Okay.
Eat a lot of acid and do a lot of mushrooms and smoke a lot of opium and fucking just all the shit. Yeah,
you got it all, Fogey.
I've been partying really hard for a long time, and my body is just like, you're done. Time to knock that shit off and act your age, old man.
Oh,
but it's all good.
You got it out. You got the memories of it.
Oh, dude, I do.
Man,
so many. I can't tell you what it was like, following the Grateful Dead around, and they're following, as they call themselves, the Rainbow Family, and it just people that just are so into the music. Of course, they love the drug culture. Don't get me wrong, but they're so into the music, and they're so into the travel, and they're so into following the Dead. And man, I've just met so many really, really cool people, and heard so many wild stories and stuff about, met some guys that were like 70 years old that were still following them around, and, been there from the get-go. And, they were, rode hard and put away wet. You could tell, you could see it in their faces. You could, how, time had just kicked their ass, but they, they were happy doing what they were doing. And I had a good time. I followed them for like 3 summers, and just every show, boom, 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 boom. I didn't care about nothing else. And it was pretty interesting time in my life,
That's what's up. Wow. That's a good following right there. Man.
But now I've transversed, and I love my cigars, and I love the cigar culture, and I love the people that I've met, and like you, started coming in here and hanging out with you on Saturday nights, and Hawkeye when he gets a chance to come, and man, it just puts me in a better mindset, smoking a cigar and chilling and just bullshitting with some real people and talking about real life and that kind of thing. And
Best.
I'm in heaven.
That's awesome, man. That's the best. I always just like unwinding with a good cigar at the end of the day, or just whenever you can, man. It's just a nice treat.
Yeah,
Smoke you a
a lot
good
of times I'll start my day off with one,
cigar.
because I can't smoke in my work truck,
Right.
and so a lot of times I like waking up, you know, brewing up a pour over coffee and coming down and having a really nice Connecticut cigar and just something
Okay.
mild, and smooth, like a Brulee Blue, or you know,
Okay.
20 Acre Farm, or Undercrown Shade, or an Ashton Classic, something like that, and just crank my stereo on and just relax, wake up, have a cigar, and do a little meditation,
Okay.
do like a daily reflection with some scripture, and just set my day off. And it usually goes really good when I do that. The days that I don't seem like the days that are the ones that seem to just somehow get jacked up for me.
In that mind, so yeah, it just kind of falls apart. Yeah.
What's up, Ben? Ben
And
Smoking is in the house.
Ben Smoking has come in. Good to see
What's
you.
up, brother?
See you.
Good to see
Yeah.
you, buddy.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming down on the late show with us, hanging out, interviewing Fogey and the good times that come. So yeah, we got Hawkeye in the building also, so we're having a good time. So yeah, man.
Man, and Ben is check his channel out.
Yes.
Ben has some really good content, and he is very knowledgeable about tobacco and cigars, and I've learned a lot from Ben. And
Yes.
he's a really good guy, and he's got a fun channel, and he's like he doesn't have a tent or a lounge, but he's got his car,
Yeah.
and
I see
he'll
the
just
car.
go, and I love that. He's just like, hey, this is where I'm at, this is what I got, and I'm gonna hang out, I'm gonna smoke this cigar, and I'm gonna
Yep.
tell you about it. And it's actually really good content. So
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch
hats
Ben.
off to
Yeah,
Ben for everything that he's doing.
no doubt. No doubt. Shout out to Ben Smoking in the house, man. Doing it up, man.
It's always more fun to see the people that aren't so set up, that don't look like they're trying to produce and make a mass amount of money on it, professional setups. It's interesting to see people starting out and
Yeah, my start out was just interesting too. I'm like, hi, just and I just kind of was myself, and then just started recording on my phone, walking around, and then just got a little more structure.
Well, and
Here
Ben
we
does
are.
that too, because he's very healthy guy, and he does a lot of walks, and he'll
Yeah.
just turn his phone on and take you with him. And Ben, you don't have to have the best production, buddy. It's about you. It isn't about where you're at or what you're doing or what your setup is or anything.
Yeah.
And it's like it's taken me a lot of time to do a lot of the things that I'm doing, but that's what I do. I'm into graphics, and I'm into production, and I'm, you know what I mean? I constantly am trying to, you know, uh, increase my ability to be able to do something different. And, but ultimately it doesn't matter. And I'm very blessed because, my wife and my son both have like crazy allergies, and, I never could smoke in my house, you know what I mean? Never. And, after 30 years of marriage, I was like, baby, I'm going to set the Death Star up downstairs, and I'm going to put exhaust fans, and I'm going to do smoke eaters, and I'm going to seal the rest of the house off. And when I'm smoking, I'm going to turn the furnace off, and you're not going to smell any of that. And it doesn't get up there to her. So I can sit down here, and I can smoke, and I can do whatever I want to do. And, but it took a lot of time and thought, and convincing my wife to let me be able to do it. So it's like this has been the first winter, that I haven't been outside freezing my nuts off, smoking a cigar, or just having to drive to a lounge. And like
Yeah.
the closest lounge that I have to me is about 35 minutes away.
The same here.
So, and it's like, you want to go up there, you want to have a beer, you want to have a pour. Well, then you got to drive through, 7 jurisdictions on the way home, and your chances of getting a DUI are large, And I don't know if you've ever got one, but I have. I actually took one for a friend that would have went to prison if I didn't jump in the driver's seat. But going through that and losing my CDL and all the money I spent, the lawyers' fees and all that stuff, it's just like no, and and I'm not going to pay $70 for a round trip Uber to go to a cigar lounge every time I want to have a cigar.
Yeah.
I'd rather smoke a $70 cigar at home, than do that. So that, like I said, I'm very blessed. I really, you've seen the video, you've seen what my cigar lounge is like, and just being able to be here and have that and have my music and watch what I want or do what I want or play some poker or whatever.
Nice.
It's been really nice, and I don't have to deal with the elements anymore.
Have y'all tried the HVC pan clientele or cliente?
Caliente. Oh, this is from Jimmy.
Yeah.
He tried one this morning, but it was too light in flavor for him. And he said,
I have not. So the only HVC that I've had is the 520 La Rosa, and I've had that in the Pyramid and the Originale Vitolas, and actually smoked that for the first time on Cigars Unbanded. It was one of our cigars of the month. And man, it got rated an S tier. I mean, it was really good. And if you buy them right and get a discount on them from various retailers, it's about a $10-12 cigar, and man, it's delicious. It has made me want to get more into their brand and their blends. So I'll have to try that Pan Caliente.
Okay. Good deal.
We're sorry we're not more outspoken tonight. It's been a long day for everybody here.
It had. Well, I'm just like probably sitting down enjoying like the silence. We've had like birthdays, chess club, all sorts of stuff going on all day. Like even when I was at the restaurant, there were like 5 birthdays. I heard "Happy Birthday" being sung like 5 times at that restaurant, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" Like everybody was just celebrating and having a good time. But I'm like, if I have to hear this one more time, I'm just like, "Oh my goodness!"
Went to the worst place. That's where
they
only go there for special.
They wanted to go there. It was either that or the Cheesecake Factory, and I was like, I'm not sitting through that. No, on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh man.
Yeah, but it was packed out the door. But yeah, I was like, oh my goodness.
Where else do they? That's the only 2 places they gave you an option.
Pretty much. We tried. We wanted to do what was the other one? Well, that was still the Culinary Dropout, which was pretty good, but they didn't like. They said the service was bad. I'm like, but it's great. I don't know. But yeah.
I like those little hole-in-the-wall restaurants. That's the best place to eat ever. If you can get a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant.
Yeah, a fraction of the price too. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God.
Not always fraction of the price. Sometimes they're up there in price, but it's rare.
Yeah. But that's where they wanted to go. I mean, it was good.
That's all right, man, because that's going into somebody's kid's college fund or something, and it's not just some corporate snacks,
That's true
some bullshit. I'd much rather support local all the way around. I'm drinking, local beer, and I go to local cigar humidors and buy
Mhm.
cigars on the reggie.
Yeah.
And it's like, plus you look at it like this. You want to bitch about how shitty your streets are, or how things aren't right in your towns and stuff. Well, go pump some money into the local economy. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Then they can pay more taxes, and there's more money to fix that shit, and there's more
Yep.
money to do with that. When you're shipping your money out to other states, and whoever the hell knows where that's going,
Right.
you know what I mean? You don't really have a right to bitch at that point if you're not going to do anything to help fix it. Fix the problem, and it's support local. Period.
True. And I've been buying a lot of house blends recently from my own local cigar shop, Cigars and More. I made a video a long time ago, and I'm probably gonna make another one now. Why, top 5 reasons to go to your cigar lounge. On one of my older videos on my channel, I made 5 reasons why I don't frequent cigar lounges, and just for like various reasons why, little pet peeves and stuff I had. But now, going back, because I used to work from home, now I'm going back, driving to work every day, and I pass by, a cigar lounge on my way home and such. And I'm like, you know what? It's just nice to come on here, sit down, and just relax and kind of get away from everything.
Sure.
Kind of clear your mind. I mean, it's good to be here too, but sometimes it's just like, oh, yeah, just and just kind of getting a different ambiance and just a different, feel and effect and stuff. So that's gonna be my next video doing that. But yeah. Oh, there's the man right there.
Hey,
There
Dr.
he
Marvel.
is. Rise and grind. Here he is.
And that's a beautiful thing about Marvin, man, is like,
Love it.
he appreciates the people that show love to him, and he gives it right back. Always. You were on his show last night, and we talked about you, and just and that's just the way he is. You know what I mean? He's not a selfish man, and he doesn't have an agenda.
Right.
And then here he is popping in and hanging out with us.
Love it.
And he's got to be tired, dude. I know I was. Marvin, I napped half the day today, dude. I did a little day drinking and just knocked myself out because my old ass was tired. But
That's okay. That's
you know,
okay.
here he is. And
Beautiful.
And we did have fun last night. It was good, and
It was a fun stream. I was watching.
I'm happy to be here tonight,
No doubt.
and be a guest on your show. And we've been talking about it for a minute,
Yeah, we were supposed to get together, a couple months ago, and then we were just like, and then just kind of, we're just putting together now, Glad it turned out.
He just woke up. I bet you did. I did some napping today, my man, for reals. Went to the grocery store early and got everything. And here's the thing. So it's Super Bowl weekend, right?
Yes.
You go to the grocery store and there is so much shit that's like 50% off. Dips and chips and drinks and this and that. And it's like, why can't it be Super Bowl every weekend? I mean, I would save thousands of dollars a year on this shit if I could get it at this price. And we even I went there Friday, and then we went this morning, and I'm like, babe, this shit is like off the hook. We need to go stock up. So we went and spent about $500 a day on crap that we normally always buy, and then just tucked it down in the garage,
smart,
in the pantry. And I try to do that even with like meat. When meat comes on, man, whenever meat comes on sale, stock up, put it in the freezer, have it. That's you have to anticipate, because the markets are so crazy, and the cost of things, and especially snacks. It's like, I'll go to the grocery store and I'll buy like maybe $70-$80 worth of staples, but then the next 200 of it is fucking chips and snacks and cookies, and and it's like that stuff hardly ever goes on sale,
That's true,
and I tell you what, if you want to go buy a television, right now is the time to do it. because it's either Black Friday or Super Bowl week is
Mm.
the best time to go buy televisions because they are
Mm.
on sale like crazy.
Hey, I'll take you up on that. I might need another one. Yeah, I've got a TV right here. It's holding up all right, being on the 10, but it's been through the rain and weather a little bit. But hey, I might have to get another one too. But yeah, man, that's just, and I
So,
love.
Marvin, are you smoking with us tonight, or are you just hanging out? You smoking anything?
Did y'all ever get a bigger TV for upstairs?
No.
I told Rachel I'd give her that 65-inch that I had. I don't ever use it hardly.
Oh.
And the problem is it wouldn't fit in my little old truck.
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't fit in the back seat.
Dang. Oh man.
Oh, right on.
Okay. Oh, okay. You're getting ready for the next. Oh yeah,
He's
you gotta get ready.
to preach tomorrow, man.
Sermon. Yeah.
And hats off to you for that, man. I love your faith, and I love how you share it, and I love how you've started. Recently you have started every show off with a prayer, and that's just a beautiful thing that you're doing, and I'm so glad to see it, and I'm so glad to be a part of it, and I guarantee that whatever the folks sitting in the pews tomorrow are going to hear, because it's going to be epic. You got a lot of juice to run off of to write that sermon tonight, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, taking the time out, especially doing that and writing a sermon and being a part of that. So that means a lot. You taking the time out to do that, definitely. Yeah. And Fogey, I love Hy-Vees up there in Kansas City. Y'all got like a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah, so we got Price Chopper, we got Hy-Vees, but then we also have like old school, like Shemeka's. That's an Italian grocery store that makes Italian sausage and sauces and homemade pastas and stuff that my parents used to shop there, and we'll go run down there, and I love Shemeka's Italian sausage, and I'll bring that home and I'll mix that up in some of my barbecue. In fact, I like putting a lot of Shemeka's meatloaf in with like some ground Wagyu beef and make a smoked meatloaf with it, and yeah, we got some good places to get. We eat up here good, and I mean, Kansas City is the barbecue capital of the world, y'all. You can say whatever you want about Memphis or Texas or whatever, but what makes Kansas City the barbecue capital is that per capita, there are more barbecue restaurants in this city than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, there were a lot of them. Even the short time we were up there, and I'm like, man, there's one right on this corner. And we were.
Well, that's kind of like so I'm doing that segment that's called Burnt Ends.
Yeah.
And everybody knows Kansas City for like Arthur Bryant's and Gates and Joe's and whatever, but those are okay, but where the real barbecue at is like Johnny's in Olathe, or Smoking Guns up in North Kansas City, or Slaps Barbecue. Slaps is a huge competition barbecue winner, and his barbecue is phenomenal. So it's like I want to go to those kind of places and showcase their barbecue off the beaten path, and then be like, hey, this is what I'm pairing. I got 3 cigars, and I think I'm going to smoke this one after having that, because these tastes and these flavor profiles that I just ate are going to go so well chilling out with this cigar. And I'm going to take a guest, and it's going to be the 2 of us, and we'll showcase the barbecue a little bit, and then we'll sit down and smoke and reflect on the barbecue and the cigar that we got to go with it.
Oh man, that sounds like fun. And Fogey, you were telling me you were a pit master too.
I am. I had a competition barbecue team for a while, and competed in the American Royal, and I've been to some other ones, and never never got like grand champion or anything like that, but I've got some ribbons and I've
Okay.
done well, and
Cool.
I just enjoy cooking for my people, my
Right.
friends, my family, the people that I love. And everybody's always like, God, dude, why don't you open up a restaurant? I mean, you could seriously open up a restaurant. And my go-to response is always, I don't want to work that hard. You
Ah,
know what I mean?
I hear you.
I don't want to live in my restaurant, and I don't want to, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because it's like you open a restaurant and you can't, it takes years to be able to train somebody to cook shit like you would.
Right.
And so you
Right.
have to always be there and you have to always oversee it and you have to do the cooking. And it was just like, no, I just, my joy is from people that come over to my house, or, if I do like when I first started working for the city of Blue Springs, they always had these crap lunches that they would bring in.
Mm.
And so I went out and spent $400 of my own money and went to Restaurant Depot and bought a bunch of food and cooked it and brought it in and fed everybody
Oh
at
wow.
the public works department, just to show them it's like, this is what good food is, y'all. Then don't settle for less,
What,
So,
what were they bringing in? You said there was crap food.
oh, so
Lord.
Christmas
Oh
last
no, not
year.
Christmas.
Yeah. So Christmas last year, they had one of these other guys that was trying to do what I did, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make some pulled pork," which pork shoulder is the cheapest shit you can get,
Yeah.
and he cooked it up, and then he didn't even pull the gristle and the fat out of it or nothing. He just ground it all up, and it was greasy and it was nasty, and it
Mm-mm.
was that, and then it was a Hy-Vee um, baked potato bar. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of Christmas is this? Where's the ham? Where's the turkey? Where's the cranberries? I mean, what
Yeah.
about this shit meal that you just put out for us
Oh,
all screams Christmas? None of it.
oh no.
And I was just so disappointed. And everybody else was too. It's like, this is so bullshit. This is such a
Oh.
ridiculous fucking thing. It was crazy, man.
Oh no. Well, I'm glad you stepped in, saved the day. And even that's big doing it, yeah, from your own pocket and doing that. Wow.
So
Uh,
Jimmy's asking about a
yeah.
local place he has that makes bologna sandwiches, and I've actually like gone down to Restaurant Depot and gotten a whole bologna and cut it up and smoked it, seasoned it,
Okay.
and smoked bologna is really good, and you can cut it nice and thick, so that when you put it up, like I'll smoke it on the smoker, and then when I get ready to serve it, I'll go on
Mm.
my Blackstone and put it on the flat top and heat it up. And when bologna's cut really thick and it's already smoked, it doesn't bowl up like
Right.
Mama used to do. You used to like cut it because she'd serve you a bologna bowl on a plate, with the sandwich. It
Mm-hmm.
don't do that, and it's just amazing. And yeah, if you get some good bologna, yeah, I'm down for that for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. You can do a lot with bologna. It was funny when I first started like working my first job. I bought like a pack of bologna, and I was just gonna put it together and just I could just bring it to work or whatever. And my parents were like, and I don't know why they like look down on like, why are you buying bologna? It's like it's the lowest tier of meat or something like that. And I'm like, because it's good. Like I enjoy
Well,
it.
it
You can get
is,
so much
you
from
know,
it. I'm like,
and it's cheap, and
right.
uh, we got to eat every day, and we
Right.
still have to have money to pay bills and do whatever. We're working class
Right.
folk, you know what I mean? We don't have, you know, bank
Mm.
accounts with zeros in them and shit. Mine
Yes,
half the
yes.
time is, thank God I got overdraft protection because, I
Right.
mean, shit, sometimes it's like, oh shit, I got to go scalp this account so I could eat, or I could do this, or I could do that. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I have
Jimmy just commented about
three.
smoked turkey is a good one, especially a wild turkey. And yeah, so Jimmy, what a lot of people don't realize, because I'm a turkey hunter. I live in Missouri and we got some great turkey up here.
Mm.
But when you go buy a butterball, when you go get a grocery store turkey, those birds don't fly. Those birds never fly. Wild turkey fly. They
Right.
fly to their roost. They fly here. They fly there. So their breast meat is dark red and it's real stringy. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And you almost have to smoke that, because if you don't, it's really tough. It's never a tender white, it's not a honeysuckle, man. It's not a butterball.
Mhm.
It's red wild meat, and it's really good if you prep it properly. But yeah, the wild turkeys fly, and their breast meat and their meat is just different, because they're living, they're not getting fed all this growth hormone shit that, Tyson or Butterball or whoever fixes them so they can grow up, 200,000 turkeys in 6 weeks.
Mm.
Um, they're eating acorns, and they're out there,
Mhm.
scavenging on worms and doing whatever. So their diet profile is way different than these captive birds. So their muscle structure and the taste of them is different. But yeah, if you smoke it right, and I like to smoke mine whole. I'll shoot it and I'll clean it and I keep it as a whole bird, and then
Okay.
I make homemade stuffing that I stuff it full of in the cavity and put it on the smoker until it's done. And yeah, then it's really delicious.
That
Yeah.
sounds good. Yeah, that sounds real good. All right.
Well, Ray, like I said, you seen my place, and you want to come up and hang out with me anytime.
Oh,
And
no doubt.
Hawkeye, you too. I
Yeah.
got a place. I got a place for y'all. And,
Yeah.
we could come up
That
and
looks.
shoot an episode and enjoy
Yeah.
a cigar together, and then I'll take you out and I'll show you the real Kansas City.
That
I've
sounds like
grown up here. I've lived here almost my whole life. I got a lot of connections. I got a lot of people that I love and support, and they're just good people for you to meet. And
that's awesome.
this is really a great city, and one of the things that I love the most about living in Kansas City is the cost of living here is really low. You know what
That's
I
what
mean?
I hear. Yeah, it's lower than down. I thought
It's
Alabama was
like
lower. Y'all got it pretty good.
like you look at Marvin. Marvin's very successful. He's a hardworking man. And
Right.
Marvin, thank you for your military service and
Yeah.
everything that you've done, brother. You are
Absolutely.
amazing. And your house that you have, you know, I could probably my house would be what your house is worth, if I lived out in California. It's like it's just insane, I think
Yeah.
I bought my house in 2012 and I paid like $135,000 for my house,
Oh
you
wow.
know, and it's 4 bedroom, 3 bath, rear entry, dual car garage.
Damn.
Uh,
145?
yeah, it was cheap. Of course,
Ooh.
now, with the tax increases and all that shit. In
Yeah.
fact, last year, Jackson County screwed everybody really bad because they were supposed to, they're supposed to only legally increase your property tax 15% a year. Well, mine doubled,
Mm.
so one year my house appraised on the taxes at 162, and then the next year it appraised at 272.
Damn.
And so my escrow balance was in the negative by $7,000, because not only did the property tax and the property value go up, but then also the insurance raised, because now they've got to insure a $300,000 house, not a $150,000 house. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh my
And dude, my mortgage went from my mortgage was $1,000 a month ever
oh,
since
that's
I've
so
been
nice.
here.
Oh, that's so nice.
And then it was like, okay, well, now it's going to be $1,896, and
Oh.
I'm like, it's shit.
Oh.
If I could afford that, I'd be driving around in a new pickup. What the
Hey.
fuck,
Yeah.
And a lot of people got pissed. In fact, the Frank White, the old, Kansas City Royal, was the Jackson County executor. and they recalled his ass. They booted him out
Oh
because
no.
they caught tax appraisers going through neighborhoods. They're supposed to come out, they're supposed to do measurements, they're supposed to do all this stuff and assess the value of the homes.
Right.
And they literally timed these guys going through neighborhoods in about 8 minutes when it should have taken them like 8 or 9 hours. So they were just going through, doing whatever they were told, bumping up all this tax money, and it's just a huge scandal. It's just been crazy. And it was like I even had to go to Wells Fargo and do a loan modification on my house so I could afford to even stay here, because it's like I can't pay $1,900 a month when I'm budgeted for $1,000. And God, dude, it's been a freaking nightmare.
We had to change when we built this house. Yeah, like you were saying, our old house, we were only paying like $1,000 a month, and then we built this house.
It does, Jimmy.
1,900. I was like, oh Lord! And we luckily, my wife and I both changed jobs at the time, so that we can now nearly, like, mostly afford where we are now. But I was like, Lord, almost like $2,000 a month.
And you do Marvin, you do need to move, because
come on, please.
You can be a millionaire in California, but you could come and live in Kansas City and be a multimillionaire. You know what I mean? I'm not shitting you.
Right? Yeah.
And it's the truth.
Yeah, out there. Yeah. Come on down, man. We definitely love to have you down here, man. But yeah, the housing market is crazy, man.
Yeah. Then I don't have to virtually be on your channel. I can just run over to the house.
I'll just hang out. That would be fun.
Or you can come over to the Death Star and hang out with me.
Hey. Man,
I tell you, I love this space. I love it. It's I got some dudes at work that have gotten into cigars, and I've gotten them into smoking cigars, and I'm like, man, just we ain't got to go anywhere. And a nice thing too is a lot of people like to drink when they smoke, and it's like, hey, if you get shit hammered, man, I got a bed right there, and there's a bathroom and a shower and whatever, and TV and whatever you need. Don't drive home. Just call the wife and tell her that you're going to spend the night because you're fucked up and you don't want to get in trouble.
So
being able to offer that to people is a great thing too.
Be smart about it. Yes. Yeah. I love your Death Star outlook. I'm just like,
thanks.
Ideas, and I'm like, that's kind of how the way I want it, because you got the poker table right over there, you got the chairs, you got like a nice cozy setup, and then you got your spot where you make your videos. I'm like, that is like that right there is just relaxing and everything. So I'm just like,
because it's me, all of my designs, like my posters that I've designed and my signs that I've designed, but then it's also got like my history,
I saw that
and
too. Nice.
To go along with that, I want to share something with you guys. I need to grab another beer, and then I'm gonna grab something else from my history and my life that I want to share with you guys on this show tonight. That is really cool. So give me just a second, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time, Fogey. I'll mute your mic real quick before you come back. Yeah. Let me light. Let me get that. You have the lighter up there. Oh, you got okay. So
you better put some more fuel in it.
Yeah, it's running a little low, but all right. Well, good deal.
All these lighters and no fuel.
Well, yeah, we've been using them definitely. And Jimmy says that my house value has nearly tripled since I bought it. So while we bought it at a great time, our taxes keep going. Yeah, and that's how my first house was too. We bought it, I want to say like $157,000, and now when we sold it, it was appraised at what, like $245,000. I was like, man, when we sold that thing and we got out there, and then what was crazy, Jimmy, the house had so many problems with it and all sorts of stuff. So even still, we had to get on out of there. I was like, man. But
y'all
yeah.
had, y'all had repair work that wasn't even worth doing because it was
Right. We tried to work because the floor was messed up in the house. It was caving in the back wall. There was water damage in it. We replaced the roof with a nice tin roof a nice metal roof on there. And we were just like, you know what, this is gonna be like another $50,000. Let's just go. Rachel's like, let's just go. Let's just sell it and go. And I said, and here we are. I was like, okay. Only thing I miss is my detached garage cigar lounge. That's the only thing. One of the things I miss about that house. But other than that, we had to get on out of there. I said, Lord.
Why do people build detached garages? It makes no sense. You build a garage to keep your car out of the weather, then you got to get in the weather to get to it. It don't make a lot of sense.
All right. So
That's
the thing that I want to share with you is so my grandfather, Peter Sharp, played second base for the White Sox back in the 1940s, right before World War II broke out. And so I've got this envelope that was sent to him by the team. This is his actual contract to play baseball.
Oh, wow.
For the White Sox. And, American League players contract. And so everything is right here, and it's all signed. And if you look at it, they were paying him $500 a month to play baseball.
Wow.
For the White Sox back then. And I looked up the average pay for Americans. The average American pay back then, it was $40 a month. So Grandpa made big fat money, playing baseball for the White Sox. And that's something that I'm really, really proud of. He was a Navy veteran, went to war, had to give up his baseball career for a while he went and fought and was in the Navy and did his thing, and then came home and then his baseball career was really taken off. But then my grandmother got pregnant with my aunt, my mother's older sister, and she started doing all this like fake heart attack shit and all this crap because she didn't want Grandpa being out on the road. She wanted him being home, taking care of her and helping her raise the babies. So he sacrificed his baseball career to come home and be with Grandma and raise my aunt and raise my mother. And, Grandpa was a college man, and he went to the University of Kentucky and got an engineering degree. So he quit his baseball career and came back and went to work for Southwestern Bell, which was the phone company back in the day. You had Pacific Bell and Southwestern Bell, and it was the phone company. And he designed and laid out a lot of the phone lines that were put in and installed all throughout Kansas City. And he actually died at his desk at work at 63 years old, had a heart attack and died at work. And, so then after that, he took a lot of his bonuses and stuff in stock options. So he had a lot of Southwestern Bell stock. And Grandma had it after he died, of course. It all got signed over to her. And then when AT&T came about, they were like, hey, we can either cash out your Southwestern Bell stuff, or if you're willing to keep that money invested in the company, we will split it, and give you multiple stock options in AT&T, So Grandma lived to be 94. And when she died, those stock options were in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and, all us grandkids, we got a little piece of that, which I still have AT&T stock because I just left it in there. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to touch that. That's Grandpa's legacy and that's his stuff. And I'm just going to let it work for me. But,
That's awesome, man.
something from my family, something that, and I've got pictures of Grandpa playing in Comiskey Park with like Lou Gapling, and and I have the 1944 White Sox team photograph that is signed by every player. Every player signed their name on their person, and
That's
it's
awesome.
just so cool. And I even got in contact with the White Sox, and I was like, hey, I've got this contract and stuff that was my grandfather's, and would I know you guys have like a little, because they've got like a little history and museum thing going up in there. And I thought, well, I could give you guys this contract and you could put that up in the stadium and display it, because they're how many contracts from that era do you have that are in pristine shape and still in
Yeah,
the envelope that it was mailed in, and the stamp and everything,
yeah.
and I just, but there again, it's just run around, first of all, I got to talk to an AI for 37 minutes before I can talk to a human being,
Oh,
and it's just like everything else, it's like,
yeah.
goddamn, can I just talk to Larry?
Yeah,
Fuck.
exactly.
Cut the bullshit. I'm tired of this bullshit. I want to talk to a human being,
Yeah, I know that feeling.
representative, you know. I'm
Just press all
so
the prompts till you get to somebody.
sick of that
Yes.
shit, dude. I'm
Oh
so
my
sick of that
gosh.
shit.
Well, that was
I just get to
incredible.
where I yell at the phone.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
gosh.
just what I start out with now. I'm going to be yelling anyway. I might as well start out that way.
Oh
Well, yeah.
Lord. My goodness, man. I don't know. I used to work from home, and I don't know how many people were just like, I want to speak to somebody else,
Yeah.
to like somebody to work on my claim. And they would just, calls would just route into us, just like
Hey,
from different departments.
and God bless them for making a
no.
living and whatever, but all these guys that are in India and wherever the fuck they are that are doing, customer service shit for these American companies, I don't want to talk to you. I'm sorry. If you can speak clean English, if you can speak the Queen's English, then yeah, I'm good and I'll talk to you. But when I can't understand what the hell you're saying, and if you tell me thank you kindly one more time, I'm gonna be up in your shit, because I'm just tired of it. I want to talk to somebody that I can understand and
Right.
speaks my speaks good English.
Oh, that's fair
And
enough. Yeah, don't total your car though, and go to an insurance company, because all those total loss people are from like India, especially when I work
yeah,
with the Allstate India people.
yeah,
90% of them were total loss, and it was even when I was trying to like, let me connect you to the total loss team and the representative. I could hardly understand them. Sometimes,
yeah.
most of the time you could.
Yeah, please don't. Can I talk to the fucking janitor?
Oh,
Let me talk to the
damn.
janitor, and then he can tell him what I'm saying.
Oh,
That kind of shit.
yeah, it's hard. And then you're like, these people are in volatile situations. They want to get these things resolved. And then you're like, I gotta take you to this department because I can't handle
Yeah,
that.
I can't help you with what you want, and
Right.
that's
And
the
like,
other thing is you call one number, and then four people later, then you're finally actually talking to somebody that can help you, but then
that's
you can't
insurance.
understand what the hell they're saying.
That's insurance,
And
hands
it's
down.
it is what it is, and
Yep.
people all over the world are in the same boat that we are. Inflation's killing them. At least, we are so spoiled as Americans, and I can see why a lot of countries hate us. We are so arrogant as Americans.
Right.
But you know what? I'm not driving 5 miles from my house and the entire city's fucking blown to smithereens and it's not in rubble. And my fucking hometown hasn't been in fucking civil war for 100 fucking years. And you know what I mean? I can go to a grocery store and I can get food and I can do this and I can do that. And I feel for those people around the world. that are hurting, that their country is war torn, and
Mhm.
they don't have anything to do or say about it. You know what I mean? They're just victims.
It's sad.
But God bless them for trying to make some money. And hey, if they can get a job with AT&T and feed their family, well, good for them. But still doesn't change the fact that I don't want to fucking talk to them. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because I can't understand what the hell they're saying.
I understand. Yeah.
America has been lucky because of its location that we haven't been in a lot of wars. We weren't in any, internal conflicts in the 1900s or so far in the 2000s, except
No,
for
I mean, Civil
Pearl
War
Harbor.
was the last war fought on this soil. You know what I mean? It
Right.
was the Civil War.
It would,
And before that, the Spanish and the French wars and the Indian wars. And
Right.
my heart goes out to those people too.
Mm.
They come in and stole their land and killed their people and killed all their buffalo. You look at all those pictures of shit of mountains of buffalo bones piled up and shit, and two hunters sitting there in front of it and shit, and it just makes you sick. It just makes you sick.
Yeah.
But that's
It's
capitalism.
That's the world we live in. Yeah.
What it takes to grow a country like we have is you gotta rape and pillage the land, and you gotta take some shit away from some people that it belongs to just because you can, and in the name of corporate greed and in the name of progress, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Railroads was one of the big proponents of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we gotta get all these Chinese some bitches in here to lay this track so we can start hauling your shit.
Right. Oh my god, there's a lot of bloodshed in this country, a lot of it, just to get to where we are, and it's sad.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
The only thing I can say about our industry, as far as I'm aware of right now, is they did make food to where it could be like before the big food companies got involved and started popping up. They were just selling meat on the side of the road.
Well, you didn't need refrigeration because it was all cured. It was salt cured.
It wasn't cured. They're talking about watching a
And
show
it's
on
like,
it. They actually said they were actually sometimes you get spoiled meat. You never knew.
Nowadays, if I'm sure you guys have all thought about it. I've thought about it too. If the shit hits the fan, how are you going to survive? The people that are going to survive is the Amish and the farmers and the people that grow their own food and know how to store it naturally in root cellars and always have food on hand, because that's all they do is they work and they provide for themselves. Those are going to be the people that make it. These some bitches that are scrambling at the grocery store, taking all the fucking toilet paper, they going to be dead pretty soon,
Yeah.
And
people are so ridiculous
too.
too.
I'm not like a prepper or anything like that, but I've got food stores and I've got water purification, and I'm close to a lot of lakes, so I can I can have water, and I know how to hunt and I know how to fish and I got all that. But the problem is going to be the people that don't, and the people that are going to come after your shit. So that's where you have to call in the Second Amendment, and you have to be well armed, and you have to have plenty of ammunition, because a gun without bullets is a fucking hammer. You know what I mean? You might as well just throw it at somebody. If you ain't got bullets to shoot out of it, you ain't got shit.
Right.
Luckily, I used to work for Lake City Army ammunition plant here in Independence, which makes the 99.9% of the small caliber ammunition for the government. We made all the the 5.56 and the 8.55 green tips and the 7.62 and the 20 millimeter cannon bullets and all that shit, and 50 cal. And they used to sell us as employees ammo at a discount, and like for the last several years, 1,000 rounds of 5.56 is going to cost you $300-400, and we could buy 1,000 rounds from work for like $95, and 50 caliber ammo, because I've got a Barrett M107 semi-automatic 50 caliber rifle, and I was paying on the civilian side, I was paying $5, $6, $7 a round to load that gun, and I was buying 50 cal ammo from work for $1.50.
Mm.
So, and they would let you buy whatever you wanted, and all you had to do was bring them a check when you picked it up. So it was like I'd take orders for friends and people and whatever, and it was like, I would sell it to them for a good price. I would double my money, but they were still saving $100 a lot or whatever, and they were happy to pay it. So
Wow.
I stocked up on ammo. I've probably got 60 or 70,000 rounds of 5.56. I've
Oh
got
wow.
I've got 5,000 rounds of 50 caliber. You know what I mean? So yeah, come try to take my shit, take my water, take my food. You know what I mean? Because you won't get up the street, motherfucker.
Right. Probably says he's ready. He does not play. Mm-mm.
Well,
He's
it just,
ready.
it goes back to my hunting days when I used to hunt with my dad and hunt with my grandpas, and I still have the 22 that my grandpa gave me as, old little Henry, single shot 22 rifle, and we used to go squirrel hunting and rabbit hunting back in the days, and it just one of those things where you just kind of like, you learn how to provide for yourself. You learn, you know, to utilize, the conservation of the state and the things that those departments provide for you and allow you to legally take and harvest and trap and do whatever,
Right.
and I've learned how to do all, because we got a great state for that. Missouri Conservation Department is top notch. We turkey hunt, we deer hunt. There's a big black bear concentration that has built up in Missouri over the last 10 years.
Mm.
And the fishing, we got a blue cat, we got flathead, and some of the best crappie fishing in the world is right here in Missouri. You know what I mean? You can catch crappie all day long and just whatever. And those are some of the things that I like to do just because I like getting out there, and it reminds me of when I was younger. And it reminds me of when those people were alive and in my life. And, and I just do it, and yeah, can I go buy catfish at Costco? Yes. Is it the same as catching a 55-pound flathead naturally off of a perch that I caught on a cricket? No.
No. My
You
wife is so picky about the fish. She's like, she will not go to the store and buy like any type of fish or anything else. And she reminisces on the days when her grandfather, they would go, and Hawkeye, you would,
me and him would go fish.
y'all would go like deep sea fishing with the,
we went deep sea fishing a couple of times. Really, we would go on big crappie trips. We'd go crappie fishing 2 or 3 nights in a row, and we'd come back with 100 fish or so, 50.
Yeah, 5-gallon buckets full of fish.
Yeah, that's all she will. That's all she will eat, like just straight out the sea.
And
she won't even.
We'd have some of them still. They'd still be moving when we were filleting them. I mean, they was as fresh as you could possibly get.
Hey,
yeah. Man, and I tell you what, I love a lot of fish, but fresh catch of the day crappie, fried up in some grease.
Come on now.
It's fried fluff. It is so fluffy and it is so delicious. There is not another species of fish on this planet that I would rather eat than some fresh crappie.
Okay.
And it's the only thing that you can reheat after frying that is good.
Well, exactly. It's like you get your Louisiana or whatever your 50/50 cornbread flour mix and season it up and fry it in some
Mhm.
grease. Yeah, it still stays crispy for a day, and then the next day take that shit and throw it in the air fryer and heat it back up in the air fryer, and it's
Yeah.
damn near just like it was fresh. It's still
Air fryer.
crispy and it's
Back
still
then,
fluffy, and all that juice is still in that meat. And
Okay.
shit, zam!
Hey.
oh, we would take it to school and with us when I was in high school, and she was in high school.
Yeah.
We'd take it to school. We had to take 3 times what we were going to eat because people would ask for it.
Oh yeah. Can I have some of that, please? Yeah. Yeah. Because you're at home eating bologna bowls and shit. Yeah, you can have some of my fish.
Okay. That's
For real. For real.
Man. That is what's up.
Oh, yeah. You never eaten crappie with us, have you?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude.
No.
We're gonna have to make a big crappie.
Get him hooked up on some crappie nuggets, man.
Please.
Crappie are so easy to fillet. You just cut in, go down the bone, flip it over, cut it off, get the bones out of it, and it's just this beautiful fillet. And a lot of times, I like just fish nuggets. I don't have to have a fillet, and I'll cut it up. And even when I clean my catfish, and here's the thing about catfish: a lot of people don't like catfish. They say it's greasy and it's fishy tasting. Well, it's because you're not cutting all the red meat off of it. You know what I mean? Catfish meat is white. It's white meat.
Yeah.
If there's any red in there, then that's greasy, nasty shit that needs to be trimmed off of it.
Okay.
And I'll lose a lot of meat because I will trim all that out of there and get all that out of there. But
I've never been a big catfish person. Catfish has a certain, we knew how to clean it. We always took all that out, but I never liked catfish, but I never liked bass either.
I don't eat bass, especially because summertime bass is like full of worms and shit. You can cut a bass open and it's got worms all fucking through it. I don't eat bass. A lot of people don't eat bass. That's why it's a trophy fish. It's a catch and release fish or whatever. But my favorite is flathead. Flathead has this layer of belly meat on it. And when you clean a flathead, you cut that belly flap out first, and it's like this thick and it's like this long, and it's just this succulent white meat and just is so delicious. I like that as much as any other fish. And then of course the rest of it, a lot of people like skin their no, man, you can clean any fish like a crappie. You can slice it, you can fillet it, you can get the bones out of it. And and another thing too is flathead have these little cheek muscles right in here that are like little oyster nuggets, and you can dig those out of their cheeks and bread those up and fry them, and they are fucking amazing too. That cheek meat is delicious.
There you go. The physiology of the fish and everything. I like that. That sounds good.
Place on Lake Martin. I fished everywhere on Lake Martin. I can take you and Ruben, and we can. Now we're gonna go at night, but we're gonna catch some fish.
That sounds like a plan.
For sure.
I was going to ask you, Fogey and Hawkeye, when's the best time to catch, certain types of fish or does it depend on the type of fish?
Depends on the type.
Okay.
Well, dude, it's just the bait. You know what I mean? So when I'm fishing for flathead, I take a bucket of crickets out and I go fish off the banks and I catch bluegill. And
bluegill here,
and then I'll just hook them through the back, and I'll throw a live bluegill out, and the flatheads love those. Now the blue cats like cut bait. So I'll take a bluegill and I'll chop their head off and hook them through the lip and throw the heads out. And the blue cat like the bluegill heads. But I've caught them all times of day. I've caught them at night. You know, a lot of times, especially when catfish are spawning, you know, you'll catch them really good in the dark on the full moon. But it's just about the bait. You can't, you know, people are like, oh, you know, I use hot dogs or I use liver or chicken liver.
Yeah.
No, because that's not what they normally eat. If you feed them what they're used to eating, you're gonna catch them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's
It's
good.
about
That's
the
good.
bait. It's not so much about the time that you go fishing, because I've caught all
Yeah.
kinds of fish at all times of the day by giving them shit that they normally would eat. You know?
Okay. Well, that's very helpful.
Crappie and bass. Catfish work like that. Crappie and bass, you still have to. Bass, you have to figure out what the water temperature is more than anything.
Okay.
True that.
They're very temperamental about the water temperature.
Well, and if the water temperature isn't right, then they're in tight in structure. You know what I mean? And they're in their beds and they're tucked away to where it's very hard to get them. You know.
Okay.
But there again, like I don't use jigs. You know, I fish for crappie with minnows. You know.
Yeah.
I always use live bait. I don't use artificial bait. I never have. You know, number one, I don't want to sit there and crank on shit all day long. I want to throw a fucking line out, a minnow on a bobber, and throw it up next to some structure that I've found, and just let the little minnow swim around naturally and let them get it. You know what I mean? I don't do any artificial bait fishing ever. You know.
Okay.
We have one artificial bait we use for catches everything. I mean, for some reason, it's always you go down Lake Martin, you use this thing, you're gonna catch everything.
Okay.
Yeah. But most if we night fish, we use minnows.
Okay.
We just figure out about the depth the fish are. If they're not there, we drop it down about 2 lengths, which is about 2 pole lengths, and then biting there, we drop it down a little further.
Well, and when I'm night fishing for crappie, I've got one of these green monsters. So it's just this green LED light that I throw down in the water.
Yeah.
And what it does is it attracts plankton. Mm-hmm. And then the bait fish, the minnows and the this and the that, they feed off that plankton. So they start coming in.
Okay.
So then the crappie and whatever else that is the predators on them starts coming in. And then you pitch your bait out just kind of like right on the very edge of where that light stops. And dude, you'll hammer the shit out of some fish.
Love it.
We use a blue light here typically. It works real well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, when you go night fishing, you're in the right spot. I know where some railroad tracks are that you can, like they're underwater now. Mm-hmm. You can drop your bait down. You're just gonna be sitting there picking up fish.
Mm.
Yeah, you're laying your bait on like an old trestle, you know.
Yeah,
sitting there. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
I mean, you almost feel like it's unfair as quick as you're picking up fish.
Yeah. Well, all right.
But it's never unfair because I always eat every bit of it.
Oh yeah, we do.
That's why I'm not a sport fisherman, and I don't like catch and release and do all that shit. I'm there to eat.
Oh yeah.
Feed myself, you know.
All that effort y'all putting in, yeah.
Only time I've really done just sports fishing, I'm fishing in a small pond with a friend. We'll do sports fishing there because they're low on fish.
Yeah.
And, there ain't a big fish population there. So we do sports fishing there.
Yeah, so if you take them out of there, then you're hurting the environment, and it's not going to be better fishing down the road, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how you guys enjoying this Perdomo thus far?
I'm loving this. I'm loving the flavors. It's nice. It's a nice, good medium cigar, and I'm about down to the almost past the second third of it, and it's been really chill. Hawk, how about yourself?
I got to the last third and I put it out for a minute.
Okay, you kind of
I'm just like, well, I had the Churchill, so I'm just like through my first third.
yeah, yours a little bit longer. Yeah,
I've been bullshitting a lot too. I haven't been smoking as much, but this is you know, you know, the Perdomo is one of those core lines, and it's like,
yeah,
and that's something that it's like, you guys that are getting into cigars, you guys that are smoking cigars, don't chase after all these fucking boutique brands that are like this, that, and another. You know, your Perdomos, your Fuentes, your La Aroma de Cubas, your Aladinos, your Joya de Nicaraguas. These companies that have been making the same cigars out of the same tobacco for decades, and they're staples. To stick with those, go to those cigars. If a buddy gives you something, or you see something that it's like, oh, I want to look. We feast with our eyes first. When I go shopping in a cigar humidor, I'm looking at cigars that are attractive to me. That's why I like the definition stuff. Those brothers that are down in Texas that are making those definition cigars, and they got those beautiful, woven bands that go on them. These elastic bands. Like, I love the Noir Connecticut. And Marvin will tell you he's a big proponent of the Noir Cameroon, the Noir Cameroon. It's a green band one, and then like the new one that they just came out with, which is that Definition Anilio, which it's got this black and gold band, which I've actually taken off at the humidor and stuck it on my finger as a ring. And it's like, I want to get a gold and black ring made from that band. It's so attractive. But that's a good cigar, and it's a box press, but kind of stick with those brands, starting out, and
definitely.
then you can branch out into the other stuff later, but starting out, you need to really stick, with stogies that are staples, and I'll tell you, somebody to really get some good advice about cigars is Holt Cigars.
Yeah, I watch his channel. Yeah, I
They,
like him.
you know, Maz and Foch do a great show. Their production level is off the hook. Of course, they got the money to do that shit. But you want to learn about cigars, you want to learn about what to smoke, go on Holt Cigars and look at their channel and see what they're doing, what they're smoking. And they always are. It's like every time they sit down, they have access to all this boutique shit, and but what are they smoking? They're smoking the My Fathers, and they're smoking the La Aromas, and you know what I mean? They are smoking the core cigars that are always the same, that are, backbones of the industry, and I love that about them. That's why I like watching their stuff, because it's like, it reminds me that it's like, yeah, you don't have to have all this fancy schmancy shit to enjoy a good cigar. And just like this Perdomo Maduro, you know what I mean? It's a $12 cigar, folks.
It is.
You know what I mean? It's not the $37 fucking Opus that I was smoking last night, and that was a good cigar, and don't get me wrong, I like my Opuses, but those are celebration cigars. Those are, whatever. And so I did this on Marvin's show last night, and I want to do it on your show tonight. So like I was saying, my nickname when I was in high school was Chunky. So
Oh,
if you guys put a hashtag Chunky on here, I will have Ray give me the list of everybody that did it, and I'll put it in a randomizer. And I'm going to give you a Dunbarton bomb. So I'm going to send you
ooh,
all of the cigars that Steve Saka sent to me to share with people
yes.
from this year's production. So it's the Salida Red, it's the Gorilla Gorda, it's the Umagog Bronze, and it is also, what was the other one?
You had the bread meat lovers in there.
And
Was
it's the
you
Red
had
Meat Lovers
mhm,
Fratanga this year's. So those four
mhm.
cigars, you guys put hashtag Chunky in the comments,
Hey, I'll throw it in there. Oh man,
and I'll
those are
send
some
you
nice
a little
sticks.
Dunbarton bomb, just to share those with you, because that's what he sent them to me for, was to share with people and let them enjoy them,
Hey,
And
I'll throw it in. What's up? Up there's Jimmy. He's in.
yep,
Hashtag.
Jimmy's in.
I will, and also, folks, I will look at certain cigars. I was going to ask you how sometimes you go into the lounge and how you pick out certain cigars. I'll go through and just look at the band, and sometimes I'm just like, oh, that's nice, and just kind of take a gamble on it, something I've never had, and I'm like, well, that's I like the presentation too, as well as smoking the cigar as well. So I'm like, that's
Well, I do too, but a lot of times when I'm in, when I'm in the humidor and I see something I don't know what it is, I got my phone in my fucking pocket. So
mhm.
I'll just pull that out and I will research it, and I will see where it comes from and see what it's blended with and what it is, and look at some of the ratings that other people have given it, and then I'll use that as a determination as to whether I want to spend my money on it or
There
not.
you go.
80% of the time, but sometimes, yeah, I'm in there and I'm like, ooh, that looks fucking good. I'm just getting that. I don't give a shit. Give me two of them. And I usually do. When I buy cigars as singles, I don't ever buy them as singles. I buy them as doubles, because I will buy one to smoke right away. And sometimes even in the lounge when I'm there that day, and then the other one comes home and it goes in the humidor and it sits,
Yeah.
for 6 months, a year. Like I said last night, a lot of the cigars that I have been in my humidor for over a year, and I've already smoked one of them. Well, now I'm going to start going back through, um, my cigar scanner list and smoking through cigars that have been in my collection for a year. I've been holding on to them for a year, and
Okay.
I'm going to revisit them and see what they taste like, and see if the aging made any difference, made them
Okay.
better, or if they're still just a crappy cigar or they're a much better cigar, because I've got all the notes and everything that I have had from when I smoked them the first time, so then I can compare that when I revisit them with some age on them. And most cigars that I've ever had that I've smoked after I've at least let them sit 6 months in my humidor have been better. You know what I
There
mean?
you
It is what it is. And then you have a lot less issues with splitting and cracking and all that shit, because they've been climatized to your environment. And the temperature in my humidor is pretty much the temperature in my room, and and all that. So that's kind of where I'm going with that kind of stuff, is to just do a little bit of a revisit on things that I've already got. Because, dude, my wife's going to chop my fucking head off if I don't quit buying cigars.
go. Mine
It's
too.
like, Jesus Christ, you got 600 fucking cigars in your thing down there. Do you have enough? Can you stop? I
Yeah.
need, I need some panties. Okay,
Oh,
go get you some.
my wife's the same way. She's like, "Don't you have
Yeah.
enough?" I said, "Oh no, no,
Yeah.
I'm
Never
at
have
least
enough.
3."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I'm fixing to go in and get warm. I'm gonna stay on the chat, but I'm gonna be inside. I'll be just texting.
All right.
I'm about to freeze.
Hawkeye's he's about to call it.
And then I've been around my mother all day who's got the flu, so I'm trying to avoid that.
I understand. Hawkeye he will be watching us from there, man. All right, Hawkeye. All right, man. But he is going in. I do not blame him. But hey, what's wrong with that?
Are you hanging tough?
Oh yeah, I'll be here for a little bit.
It's a bolstery 74 degrees here in the Death Star, so I'm good. I could stay here all night. You know.
Yeah, I was going to run out and get my heater. I said, just go get the heater, Hawkeye. He's like, nah, I just ran out here, but hey, it's all good. I'm here. I'm definitely here. But yeah, he'll be in and out. But yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, but yeah, man, that is cool. Man, and if you're all just now joining us, you're smoking on Perdomo 10th anniversary Maduro. Come on in. Enjoy.
You've been with us the whole time.
Yeah. And we're talking with Old Fogey, enjoying our night here at the Larry Cigar Lounge live, episode 37. We thank Fogey for coming on in and sharing.
Man, dude, I'm really glad to be here, and not having to type,
Yeah.
I'm usually in your live,
Yeah.
I usually come and I usually hang out, and every chance I get.
Yeah.
If I'm not here, I'm like dead asleep,
That's okay.
I've just had a crazy shitbird week at work, and I don't have any energy left to give anybody.
I understand.
But if not, I'm here. I've been with you, and I watched your channel grow. And shit, dude, you went from 300 to 400 subscribers like that.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, I've been putting it out, and Marvin is grinding it out. So hey, yeah, just trying to reach some goals, do some things. It's been fun too. I'm trying to do it as much as
it is fun, and that's what I'm doing with my channel and trying to do with my channel is just keep putting out content. But it's like it's always something different, now I'm traveling around a lot, and I'm like taking people to humidors in different cities just to show hey, this is these humidors here. How do they compare to what you got or whatever? And there again too, it's like, if you guys ever see me put a video up of a cigar lounge and you see something that you can't get or you want, just send me a message and I'll be happy to pick it up for you and ship it to you, because it's just, that's part of it too. It's kind of like the allocated whiskey thing and this and that. And it's like, I'm not bourbon hunting, I'm stogie hunting, and I'm out looking at places and look at that fucking Opus humidor that I found at a shop down in Wichita, Kansas, for God's sake.
Nice. That's
and,
nice.
Thank God it was around Christmas time and I was had some money to spend, but shit, you just never know what you're going to find at some of these little places. And some of, some of these guys, it's like with the bourbon thing. It's like, if you want some good Buffalo Trace products or some Weller, foolproof, or some Weller 107, or, some good OWA or something, you got to sell a shit ton of Fireball. And it's the same thing with cigars. I was just talking with Cassie at the cigar room, and she's like, yeah, we've got these core lines that we have to sell and we have to stock and we have to buy in order for us to get the Opus shit, to get the stuff that we want. And it's like, once you meet that criteria of we bought enough of this core line shit, then we qualify to get those. Then we get them, and it's the same everywhere, and it's like, and she was saying that that when a lot of stores don't meet their quotas, and don't hit that mark, then they don't get any. And then everything else is just distributed to the ones that do, so they get more. You know? Yeah, it is.
Interesting. I just thought there was like, if it came out on the market and they were just trying to sell it, I'm like, oh, okay. Because the way I guess my local shop is, you walk in, there's a table which they have of certain premier cigars or cigars that have just like come out on the market, and then you go inside the humidor, you get your regular stuff in there, and sometimes they'll have cigars that you might see once or twice, and then they're gone like the next.
Oh yeah.
So, and I'm like, oh, okay. But then when you were like, because I don't see a lot of Opus in my store or things like that. So I'm like, I thought that was interesting when you said that. I'm like, oh,
well, because they're not selling a lot of the Fuente core line stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They're not selling a shitload of the sun grown Opus, and they're not, the regular Don Carlos and the this and the that. They're not selling enough of that to qualify to get Opus. You know.
Makes
sense.
Yeah.
Guys, I've got a shit ton of Opuses, and I've smoked a shit ton of Opuses, and they are good cigars. Trust me, they're Fuente through and through. But are they worth $40+ a piece? I've had better cigars at a better price point. I really have.
Okay.
And there again, I'm going back through Opuses that now I've aged for a year plus and smoking some of those. And yeah, that's when you're like, okay, yeah, these need some age on them. They need to rest. They need to do their thing. They need to develop their flavor profiles. And they do,
Okay. And I think what Jimmy said, I think you have to carry a certain amount of True Estate to get the Liga lines, or maybe just those special sizes. Okay.
Yeah. So, Jimmy, what's your shop? I mean, obviously you're a cigar seller. You have a business. Where are you at? Where can we hook up with you and buy stuff from you?
Hey, that sounds like a plan too. Yeah. And then when I was a cigar clerk just for a short amount of time a couple of years ago, and you'd see like a lot of the reps that would come in, primarily like the Christoph reps and such, and they just give you free cigars, and they had their own thing kind of set up in there, and the people that would come in would just they get the regular stuff. They come in, they come out. That was pretty much the most of it, but yeah, they would have their own things too.
Well, and I've had guys that have started their own businesses that have given me some of their cigars that they just go down and have somebody make them for them and blend them up, and they've been crap. They have just been utterly crap. And I'm not going to say any names, but it's like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. You're just stating the fact that you have to carry a certain amount of a certain brand. Like I was saying, you got to sell a shit ton of Fireball before you start getting some, George T. Stagg, or whatever. That's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah. And that's why you can't find a lot of shit some places.
Right.
And like I said, I like to shop local. And Cassie out at the cigar room in Lee Summit, she's always just surprising me with stuff. I mean, she had E.P. Carrillo Battleborns, and she had, Opus stuff. And like right now, she's got 2 Vitolas of the Atabays, and it's that's the first store I've ever even been in that's even had Atabay on the shelf, and let me tell you, you want to buy an expensive cigar that's worth the damn money, get you a Atabay. They are
I've heard good things about them, yeah.
They are worth it. They are a really extremely well made and extremely well blended cigar. I love Atabays. Marvin sent me my very first one that I ever smoked.
I think, Rosengren, he sent me one. Yeah, he sent me that one, and then he sent me another one. I got the Benito. Was it the Benito? Another one that he sent me a while back, and I was like, those are sitting in the humidor aging as well. But sometimes before you go into your local cigar shops, like I was I asked about because I think the Rumor 101, the Johnny Tobacco Night had just come out, and I asked the rep, I'm like, "Do y'all have this certain cigar?" And he looked at me like I was speaking another language or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh Lord!" But
Yeah.
yeah,
Man, that Johnny Tobacco 10th anniversary is a dream stick. And I
yeah,
like the Room 101 stuff. I've got some of their 15th anniversaries. I bought a bunch of those.
nice.
I love the what was it that I just had the other day? It was let me look at this real quick. It was the Room 101, the Farce, the Toro 6x54. It's about a $15 cigar, and it was delicious. You know, Room 101 definitely makes some good sticks. I like their stuff, but that Johnny Tobacco is good. In fact, uh, you know, here's Johnny Tobacco out the window right
Oh,
here.
oh, okay. Nice. Very nice.
And here's that Opus Humidor that I now have that I was dreaming of, that it's floating outside the window too.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
that Opus 25th Humidor, and now I got one, and I was just like,
Nice.
this is my dream to have, and I've got, I got this ashtray, and this is the Sober Mesa Brulee Blue, and I bought boxes of those,
Okay.
and
Nice.
just some of the shit that was like, but I couldn't believe it when I seen that Opus Humidor, and I didn't get any of the cigars out of it. They were all gone, but then they were just selling Humidor by itself, and I got a good deal on it. And I shot a video at their place, and the guy appreciated me and cut me a deal on that, and that was my Christmas present to myself. So now I actually have a specific Humidor for my Opus selection, and I don't have a selection. A collection. I have a selection. I don't collect cigars. I have cigars to pick and smoke.
There you go. There you go.
And same thing with of course, I'm not drinking whiskey anymore, but same thing with that. A lot of it was, I didn't buy bottles and spend fuck tons of money on secondary markets to get bottles to just leave them sit on the shelf so I could show them off and be like, oh, looky what I got, and I don't do that with my cigars either. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good. I'm the same way. I buy what you like, you smoke what you smoke, and if you like it, hey, I'll show it to you and everything. But yeah,
well, and that's it. It's it's all subjective to your palate, and it's all subjective to what you like and what you actually do buy and what you actually smoke. And all you can do is just share that with people. But if you like it, there used to be this old guy that was like a sales mentor. His name was Zig Ziglar. And he used to say, enthusiasm sells. And what is the last four letters of enthusiasm? Is IASM. And he said, let that stand for I am sold myself. So if it's something that you would buy, if it's something that you do buy, if it's something that you do appreciate, then you can recommend it with enthusiasm, and you can show other people that it's like, yeah, I'm not full of shit. I've had these and I love them. And that enthusiasm shows through in how you present it and how you talk about it to other people,
That's the best way to share it. Yes. Very nice. That's the best way to do it right there. Especially having your own experience doing that. Yeah. Man.
Well, and there's so many there's so many men and women. There's a lot of women that that smoke cigars or are just now getting into cigars. Although I will tell you, girls, um, when you're posting yourself, smoking your cigars, and you're in your lounge and you're enjoying them, I don't need to see you sucking on them. You know what I mean? There's so many girls that are like,
Yeah,
and I don't need to see that shit. You know what I mean? It's all good. I can appreciate you smoking the cigar without you puffing the fuck out of it. You know what I
there
mean?
you
So
go.
let's
And I had a
stop.
friend of mine. Yeah, she would send me. I'm like, hey, I'm smoking a cigar, and she would just send me a picture of her smoking a cigar, and she was all kind of like just kind of serious with it, like, and I'm like, okay, just like, hey,
Yeah, I
but
don't need to see you
yeah.
drilling on it. You know what I mean? Um, it's puts too many other gears into motion for me.
Oh no, oh man,
So just stop it, will you?
oh
You
man,
can show me what you're smoking, and I'll appreciate that
there you go.
even more. I don't need to get drawn into that shit. And a lot of the younger girls are doing that shit. And it's like, no, 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 knock it off, stop it, please.
There you go. There you go. Oh my god.
But where's Hawkeye, man? I thought he was going to be
Well,
chatting or doing something. What
he may be. Yeah, he may be watching now, but it's a little cold. I thought he was just like I said going to go get that heater, but I
Well,
don't
he
know.
should have.
He went back in. He's like, yeah, I'm like, come on, no.
He ain't been here much anyway. So, Hawkeye, for tonight, you bailing out on us, I'm going to give you the big.
Oh
So
no!
you get the fucking dog turd award, bud,
Oh
for bailing out
no!
on us.
Because I was like, he was
Because I
so
missed you
hyped.
the last few weeks, and you ain't been around, and then you come on for 10 minutes, and then you're gonna puss out and go in and get in the house and have a fucking bologna sandwich. What the fuck?
Oh no! I'm like, Fogey's gonna be on. He's like, oh, I'm gonna be here, and I'm like, we're gonna get this together. And then I'm like, bro, and then he's standing up, and then he's like, I'm out. I'm like, no.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I'm like, he asked about you. He asked about you all the time. I'm like, come on. No,
It's all good. I'm just fucking with him. I'm
Oh,
always going to hang out with you no matter what, Ray, because we always have a good time here on Saturday nights. And
yeah.
don't matter who's here or not or whatever, as long as you got somebody to hang with you. And I'm hoping, I'm going to do my first live tomorrow, and it's kind of
Yeah.
oddball. It's 10:10 in the morning on Super Bowl Sunday, but I just want to get my shit set up, and I think I got a pretty good setup, and my green screen's good, and my audio's good, and I got good things to talk about, and even Cassie, the gal that I've been pimping up with the cigar room in Lee Summit, she was like, I'm gonna come on, and I'm like, please do. And even if it's just you and me, I don't care.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't, as long as I'm not sitting here by myself smoking and talking. If I got one person that will engage with me,
Yes.
then I'm good.
And that's
And
what
you usually have a few. You usually have a few core people that come in and watch it. And like Jimmy's been hanging with us all night. Thanks, Jimmy. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And your comments and everything, and just being here with us and just enjoying our shit and just rapping, just being boys, just talking and doing our thing. And that's what it's all about. It's a virtual cigar lounge is what it is. You
Yes.
know what I mean? It's a place where we can go smoke, and we don't have, like I said, I don't have to drive through 7 jurisdictions and get a DUI coming home. I can sit here and I can drink some beer, or I can do whatever, and I can smoke, and I can still have a conversation with somebody else who's having a cigar or having the same cigar as I am. And we can discuss that and whatever. And that's, to me, that's what the purpose of these lives should be about, is just a good hangout. It's like Marvin's been doing on his. He's just sitting there rapping, and he's got people that are there that are engaging with him on the chat, and just virtually enjoying the hobby that we all love so much.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love that. Yeah. And then I think there's another gentleman who was called himself the Vintage Cigar. He's like, I have everybody here that I want, to be here smoking, cigars with me and everything.
Yeah.
And that was the most important thing to him, not just
and anybody else is just a bonus.
Yeah.
It's just a bonus to have other people, but the ones that you want there, they're there, and are continually there and continually support you and continually throw a little ditty in your tip jar and appreciate you for what you're doing and the content and trying to help you grow and trying to support all the effort that you put into everything that you do, and it's a lot of work, dude. Trust me, I know. I mean, you've seen a lot of my content, and it's all me, brother. Every bit of it, everything that I do, every graphic that I make, every environment that I put myself in, my logos, everything has all been done and designed by me and shot by me and edited by me. And I'm a one-man show, and it does take a lot of time, and it does take a lot of work,
There you go.
and it can be overwhelming at times, So that's the beauty about the live is I don't have to worry about all that. I don't have to worry about a production value. I don't have to worry about editing. I can just come in here and hang out with some brothers and smoke and talk and bullshit and just be chill,
There you go, man. That's it. It's all about the camaraderie and the beauty of doing that, man. And I love it. I love it. That's my one way of just unwinding. And people see me as just like, hey, I don't think you did that. And I'm like, yeah, I like to unwind with a good stick every now and again.
All right, so I've had my vanilla and my strawberry. Now I'm going to go run and get my chocolate to finish up my Neapolitan Boulevard offering. I will be right back.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. Take your time, man. Take your time. All right. All right. I'm going to finish relighting this. I'm going to step away for just a second, folks, and I'm going to actually go get I'm going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to step away for just a second and go getting my heater just a little bit because it is getting slightly colder out here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play my my commercial. I say commercial as if we're getting paid for this, but my music right here, my outro or my commercial music here, and I shall be right back. All right, I'm gonna put this on a loop, and I'm gonna step out for just a few minutes, and we will be right back, y'all. Y'all stay tuned, relight, restock, and I'm gonna step away for just a second and go from there. Race Cigar Lounge, y'all. We will be right back. Oh, all right. We are back.
We are back.
Yeah, back with Fogey. I took a quick step outside, got my heater right here.
Nice.
So now, got a little bit better. I'm pretty good, man. I'm just going to keep on this party going.
Text Hawkeye and tell him to get his soft ass back out there. And,
oh, no.
Quit being a fucking puss.
Oh, no. Yes, we got to get the Hawkeye back in at some point. I know he's just watching. I'm sure he hadn't commented anything on here yet.
Well, he hasn't. He just like disappeared, and it's like, come on.
Oh, I said, come on now.
It's all good, but gotta jab a motherfucker in the ribs with a broomstick on that one. Yeah.
No. But for those of y'all who are just joining us, we are talking with the legendary Old Fogey on here, having a good time.
Yeah, having a good time. So now I got my chocolate stout to finish up my Neapolitan trio that Boulevard has put out. And they always got so much good stuff, dude. They do like a nitro stout that is like their version of a Guinness, and they've got that Irish cream, and they've got they had this one that was called pecan pie that was a limited release, and I bought probably, they come in 4-packs and they're like $20 a 4-pack, and I probably bought 10 of them, but they're like 13% alcohol, and it's like, you can drink one of those in an hour and a half and still get a nice buzz, and you're not pounding beers and having to go to the bathroom all the time. And all that shit.
Nice.
So that helps a lot.
All right. Good deal, man. Good deal. Right. Now I'm just now finally finishing down my Perdomo here. Now that latter third, I was trying to see if I can get just a few more notes off of it, but it has been a very pleasant smoke.
It's a good one.
Been good there, so I've enjoyed it, man. I always enjoy the smoke, the conversation.
Like I said, my favorite Perdomo is that 30th anniversary, that bourbon barrel aged. And Nick said himself, he's like, yeah, I smoke a lot of those. He's like, I really love that blend, and it's a good cigar. And all the new Legacy line, the Sungrowns and the Maduros and the 12-year, it just, they continually put out sticks that are solid and represent who they want to be as a family and who they want to serve, and really love their line.
Yeah, he is very proud of his work, yes.
Same thing with the EP Carrillo stuff. I smoke a lot of EP Carrillo stuff. And I bought a box of those Battleborns. I don't know if you've had that Battleborn, but it's really good. And, in fact, I'll throw one of those in that Dunbarton bomb that I'm going to send you.
All right, well, thank you, man.
Let you try one of those.
Appreciate that, man. I know you were really excited because when you sent me that message, I'm like, dang, you had like all those Dunbartons lined out. You said Steve Saki, did he find your like a video of yours or like your channel in general?
Yeah, because like I did that I did that one about the the Brulee Blue, and it was hey, it's good, Jimmy. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. And we know it's late.
Yeah.
And you got to do what you got to do. But, hey, you're in for the drawing. And,
absolutely.
You got a good chance because there's, not a whole lot of people in on it. So,
all right, Dave.
But thanks for coming and thanks for hanging out with us.
No, definitely. Thank you, Jimmy. Good to see you again, man. Definitely. I appreciate you staying with us through all the flexibility, through everything. So, yeah, take care, man. Get you some rest. Definitely. Good thing, luckily, we don't have a lot to do tomorrow as well. So I'm going to recover a little bit and check out your live in the morning, and we'll go from there, man.
Right on. Yeah, so I did that holy crapoli, the Brulee Blue, Simon Says Saka, you know,
All right.
series, and he caught that and just was just like, he follows my channel because I pimp his stuff a lot, and he knows that
Okay.
I'm a huge Dunbarton fan, and got me in touch with his daughter Emily,
Okay.
and Emily's the one that handles a lot of that stuff.
Cool.
And so she
Cool.
was like, "Well, how many people you think you might have on your podcast, or how many people you think you might want to share these with, and whatever." And I said, "Well, 7." So they
All right.
sent me, dude. They sent me 7 bags that had all 4 of this year's releases. So it was like
That's awesome.
300 and some odd dollars worth of cigars for free,
That's
and I got a Dunbarton hat. They
okay.
sent me a hat too, and
That's awesome.
yeah, just they notice who's, and Steve and I, like, he's a big Rolex guy, and I've got a couple Rolexes, and we share watches and send pictures. He was down in uh, South America on vacation and was posting pictures of a watch that he was wearing with smoking one of his cigars, and I sent a picture of one of my Rolexes I was wearing, and blah blah blah, and we banter back and forth, and we're not the best of friends by any means, but he knows who I am, and he knows that I love his cigars, and made sure that I got a bunch of sticks to share with my people, and talk about them and smoke them together and whatever. So next time we do something like this, we'll have some Dunbarton stuff that we can smoke on, and talk about how we like that, and
Yeah.
do that together.
Yeah.
Either on your live or on mine. One of
Yeah, either way, man. Either way, I've been going through this year, Steve Saka's collection. There's like in my cigar shop, there's like a smaller collection of some of his cigars there. So I've been kind of going through. I did the Stillwell, the Summer Mesa, the Micarita, a couple of those I've been
Yeah, I
smoking
had,
on.
in fact,
Been
I
pretty
just did a
good.
video of an old tobacco shop that's been in the St. Louis area since the 1914s.
I think I saw that.
And yeah,
Yeah.
lit cigars, and
Mhm.
uh, they had they're more into pipes than they are into cigars, really. But they had the Stillwell Star Holiday release from this year, and I bought one of those and I smoked it, and I really liked it because it has more aromatic tobaccos like a pipe, and it was a different experience, and it was a good stick. I really enjoyed it.
Nice. Very nice. Very nicely done. All right. Yeah, I like that Summer Mesa Red. I like the blue, the one that you shared with me too. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are
I
really.
bought 3 boxes of those Sober Mesa Brulee Blues. I love those.
Very,
Those are good cigars. I probably got at least a dozen of them in my humidor, and I've got a bunch. I got a box of the Salida Reds, and I like the Sin Compromisos, and he's got a solid line of stuff. Not everything that he puts out I am a huge fan of, but that doesn't matter. The stuff that counts, the stuff that I like, that is go to sticks for me. Uh, I always, like I was saying last night, it's that quarter pounder with cheese, man. No matter what McDonald's I go to anywhere in the country, it's going to be the same, and it's going to taste the same, and it's going to be the same, and that's
right.
some of those Dunbarton products are my quarter pounder with cheese cigars.
There you go. In Kansas City, do y'all have a Chiefs burger? Is it like the Chiefs? Like, is it like 3 patties? Like the Chiefs, like the cheeseburger? Well, I guess it's like a double quarter pounder, but with like an extra patty on it or something like that. Or is that like a special edition that comes in? Sell that?
Yeah, they kind of do that during the season, and then
Okay.
like they do this
Mhm.
promotion that it's like, okay, say that the Chiefs score 5 times in a game, then I can go to McDonald's up the street the next day and I can get 5 Big Macs for $1 a piece. You know,
What?
so they do
Okay.
promotions like that. You know, where it's
That's
like,
nice.
yeah, if the Chiefs score X amount of touchdowns, then you can get that many Big Macs for $1. You know,
That's what's up. Hey.
and hell, you could throw them in the freezer and then stick them in the microwave or stick them in the air fryer or whatever. And it's and just take them with your lunch. It's good. Lunch food that you can stick in your lunch box and take with you and have a Big Mac every day or whatever. And
That's
they
what,
usually do score 4 or 5 times, so it's always 4 or 5 freaking Big Macs for $1, or 5 Big Macs for $5.
nice, nice. I had a boss. I used to work inside sales job. He was from Kansas City, and he actually showed me a picture. It was of Patrick Mahomes just walking through a Hy-Vee. It was him, his family, and there's Patrick Mahomes like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Are they that really that personal? Like, if you get to like meet the players, and sometimes they're
Oh
just like,
yeah.
I'm walking like, hey,
Um,
I'm just shopping in Hy-Vees.
that's
What's up?"
that's one of the
Like,
things I love about the Chiefs so much, and especially Patrick and his wife. So they
yeah,
have done, and Kelsey too. They have dumped a lot of money into this city. They bought like Patrick Kelsey has Go car washes that he's opened up here in
hmm,
Kansas City.
okay,
Um, Patrick's wife started a female professional soccer league, and
okay,
has a team here in Kansas City, and they built a stadium for it and
wow.
dumped a bunch of money into that and riverfront property and helping to develop that. And yeah, and then like a lot of the other Chiefs players live here in this town, or they have a home in this town,
Okay.
and they open businesses and they dump money into the local communities, and they're all about it, and they have foundations that help underprivileged people and this, that, and another, and just share the wealth and share the love in the community with everybody. They're very humble people, and they love this city. They love how much we support them. I mean, dude, uh, you know, Arrowhead has the best tailgating in the world. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's like, there's people that won't even go to the games that pay $65 to go in and park and sit out in the parking lot and cook food and hang out with people, and then they'll go in their RV and watch the game or whatever, or they'll get a generator and they'll have a big screen outside and they'll sit out in the parking lot and watch the games, and they just want to be part of the excitement and everything that there is with that. And
That's the best.
our tailgating experience with the Chiefs and at Arrowhead is second to none. And we
Right.
have the loudest stadium. We got the record for the loudest stadium in the league,
Yes.
142 decibels. That's
Oh, yeah.
insane. And we've held that record for a long time.
I love it. Love it. But, that sounds like Auburn football too. Like, just folks will just be out there tailgating, especially during
Yeah.
like the Iron Bowl and such like that. They'll be there on a Wednesday. They won't even buy tickets. They'll just go right there,
Oh
all
yeah.
up and
Well,
down
and on game days when
Magnolia.
the stadium opens up, the parking lot opens up at 10. There's people there at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning in
Oh
line
Lord.
waiting to
Oh,
get a spot and their spot and
yeah.
whatever.
That's what's up. That is what's up, man. I love it. You gotta love that spirit, and no matter how your team is doing, they're always there, and they
Doesn't
and they
matter
sell out, and they're just there.
if we're
Yeah.
winning, we're losing. It doesn't matter. It's
Hmm.
just the experience, and it's just and even with the Kansas City Royals, the baseball team, it's
Yeah.
same way. People are out there. They're out there tailgating. They're out there bringing their kids. It's a good time. It's a great experience, and just lots and lots of fun.
Yes.
I'm kind of hating the fact that they're both getting ready to move out of the stadiums that they're in,
Mm.
And I blame a lot of that on, the county and the local city. They're actually they're in Kansas City, but it's basically Raytown, Missouri, and they've never dumped any money into, restaurants and infrastructure and this, that, and another. They've never really, because they're paying all that tax money to keep the stadiums up and going. You know,
Mm,
that's all been paid for by us. We paid for that out of our tax money for years.
yeah.
And for them to just up and leave. In fact, there's uh, one of the state uh, House of Representative guys. One of the, he's not a senator, but he's a House rep. He's a district rep.
Okay.
Has gone in and he's trying to write legislature to where if a professional team has been using publicly funded facilities, then they
Mm,
have to share some of the cost for the dismantling and destruction and revitalizing of those areas, to where holding these teams accountable to where they've been parked at a place that's been paid for with taxpayer money for years, and then now all of a sudden they're going to leave, and then, well, how the hell are we going to pay to get rid of that, or how are we going to pay to up maintain that for other venues, for concerts, for college football games, for soccer games, for this, that, and another, because it costs a lot of money, and those stadiums were way ahead of their time. You know what I mean? I mean, they've been there since, the late 60s, early 70s. They've been there for 50 some odd years,
yeah,
and
for
they're
them to
still
leave.
amazing facilities. Hell, I've been to Arrowhead, and I've seen Garth Brooks, I've seen
Okay.
Pink Floyd, I've seen the
Oh
Rolling
wow.
Stones. Yeah, there's a lot of concerts that get put on. I saw Guns N' Roses at Arrowhead. Just so they use it for other things, but and I guess they'll still have to. I can't see them tearing it down. It's still a good
Yeah.
stadium and it's still in good shape.
Yeah. I'd hope they preserve it in some way and still use it. I'm sure for different things and different, concerts and things like that.
Well, and for like high school championships or
Yeah.
college stuff or whatever. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Big venues to where people can go and watch and enjoy and, still keep it alive. But I mean, it costs a lot of money to keep that shit going, you
Yeah,
know,
it does. It does. And,
probably a lot more than what those events could contribute to keeping it up, because they got to make their money too. You know what I mean? It's all a business. Every sport thing, everything, it's all a business. It's all about money.
yeah. Okay. Okay, man. All right. Oh,
Ray, I think we're the sole survivors.
I think so, and that's okay. Oh, but I don't know. It's two, three people. It's weird around here. Sometimes they'll jump in, sometimes they won't, but that's all right.
That's
We
all
had
good.
a
I'm
little.
having a good time.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People come in, come out. I do the late night thing, and people come in. Sometimes they come out, but that's all right. We
Kind of
here. We are
like
here,
I was
man.
saying yesterday. It kind of makes me wish I had a little cocaine.
To keep you up a little bit.
do a little bumpy bump to keep me up. My old son of a bitch, and
Oh,
and after all this shit, the visits to the ER this week with my wife and everything that I've
mhm.
been through, and it's just like, oh my god, dude. That's why I was just like, today was nappy time. I
You need
was
to recover from
I
all
was
that. Boy.
rewatching mine and Marvin's show last night with my wife so she could see it. And about halfway through, I fell asleep, and that was about 1:30, and the next thing I knew, it was like 7:30,
Oh,
You know,
dang.
I slept like half the day today, but I needed it. I had not had much sleep in the last 72 hours,
Oh,
not at
man. Yeah.
all, maybe 4 or 5 hours in three
Oh,
days.
yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me to be up late. I've always been a late guy. In fact,
Absolutely.
last night somebody said, I was like, "Yeah, I'm old. I'm 56," and they're like, "Well, it's not that old." And I'm like, "Well, if you count how long I've actually been awake in 56 years, I'm probably fucking 70."
Oh, no.
All the
Woo.
partying and shit that I've done, and all of the all nighters that I've pulled through the years and everything. Yeah, I've been up. I've been around. I have. I've been through the fire. But I loved every minute of it. And it doesn't bother me. I'm not ashamed of it. Like I said, especially those years that like I followed the Grateful Dead and did all the acid and met all the cool fucking people and rocked out and went to different cities and they'd have like nitrous tanks out in the parking lot with the like not the like the whippet shit but like dental grade laughing gas like nitrous oxide. They would blow you up these giant fucking balloons for like $5 and you could sit there and huff on that shit and laugh some motherfuckers would just be like you see them standing there and then you just be like they'd hit the ground, they'd pass out, they'd do too much and they'd pass
Oh,
out,
goodness.
just weird shit like that, but
Yeah. So much all the memories there.
I'm a night owl by trade for the most part, always have been.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. And Fogey, do you, I know I see you have a son. Does your son maybe smoke cigars with you, or do you have any members of
Well,
the
so
family?
once I got this room in here and
Yeah.
everything, I had my son come down and smoke a cigar with me. But
Okay.
Brandon, my beautiful son Brandon, who I love more than my own life, he come down and had a cigar with me, but he's got really bad allergies, and
Hmm.
it just you might as well have shoved a fucking tennis ball up his nose because
Oh,
it just didn't hit him good, and he didn't enjoy it because he couldn't
mm.
breathe. And
Oh, no.
so that
Mm.
kind of sucks because I was hoping, that him and I could enjoy this space together and smoke
Yeah.
cigars together and whatever. But he just, and he's a young kid, dude. He lives online, he games and he fucking
Okay.
plays virtual poker and he's a hell of a fucking poker player. He's got shit tons of money that he wins online games and he has people over here in the Death Star all the time and he fucking rakes up the money.
Hey.
um but he's also like a big pickleballer. He loves to go play pickleball.
Okay.
In fact, his mama and I just bought him this badass fucking pickleball backpack to stick all his shoes and his balls and his rackets and all that shit in, and supporting him doing that. And but he can't do the cigar thing because it just plugs him up,
Yeah.
and it's disappointing, but it is what it is. I don't fault him for that.
Mhm.
I
All right.
never intended for it to be a miserable experience.
Yeah. No. No doubt. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Understandable.
Brenda don't smoke because she's the same fucking way. You
Yeah.
know, might as well shove a fucking Spalding up her nasal cavity.
Ooh.
And she can't breathe either. Doesn't
Oh,
want to be
no.
around smoke. But that's okay for me because you know what? That makes this my happy place. That makes this my place where I can just go be me and I can do me
Yes.
and I can get away from all that shit and I can get away from I need this and I need that and where's the fucking money for this and we got to go to the grocery store and buy this shit and buy that shit and it's like no, I'm coming down here I'm gonna jam on some fucking Alanis Morissette or some shit and smoke a fucking cigar and leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? So at least I had that. You know, at least this Death Star that I'm in, this space that I've created for myself, is mine, and it
Yes.
belongs to me. And I can go do my shit, and I can be away, and I don't have to be daddy, and I don't have to be husband, and I don't have to be the provider, and and I can shed all that shit and come down here and get in my place and smoke a cigar or smoke a cigarette or
Yeah.
back and forth or whatever, and have me a drink or not, or a coffee or whatever, and just do my thing, and a lot of times I'll kick, I'll watch you, I'll get on and I'll watch videos on YouTube, or I'll
Hmm.
watch shows that I like that I know that they wouldn't even be interested in watching. And the most of it is I love music, so I sit there and just crank up my stereo. And I got you've seen on the video, I got a new system
Yeah.
because I've been in the vintage hi-fi thing forever, but this new Chinese D-class stuff is so tiny and it is so amazing, and I can't tell you what it's like to have a stereo system that has an individual amplifier for each speaker, and how that separates those channels and there's no crosstalk. And there's a lot of music that I've been listening to for years that I'll listen to on this new system, and I'm hearing shit that I never heard before.
Mm.
You know what I mean? There's little nuances and there's little transitions. Like Queen is I love Queen so much. And they played around with throwing sound around, bouncing it back and forth, and this and that and another. And you get all that, and you hear all that, and you feel all that.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'll sit down and jam out on some old school stuff, and my Pink Floyd. I love Pink
Yes.
Floyd. In fact, I got uh, my fucking
Okay.
my Pink Floyd.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So it's got the wall, and it's got Dark Side of the Moon, and then it's got God damn it, what's that? The one with the heads. I don't know. I can't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all that, and I just sit down here and just enjoy my music, and Division Bell is what.
Yes.
And in fact, I was listening. The guy that was tattooing me at the time, my wife and I went down to Eureka Springs, Arkansas for vacation, and we found this little tattoo guy that was up north. And I was like, "Hey, you got your music on your phone, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, I want you to play the Division Bell album while you're tattooing me with this tattoo," And he did, you know. So it was even extra special.
Perfect. Perfect. That is awesome,
So
man.
what, Ray? You don't talk much about yourself. You know what I mean? You don't hear much about things that mean something to you,
Yeah.
like music that you like things you like to eat. Let's hear a little bit about who Ray is. Why don't you enlighten us as to things that mean things to you?
Okay. Yeah. So, first, I'm Ray here, and some of my favorite music. I enjoy Pink Floyd. I love the light shows, things like that. The way they came up from the early days, and then how they kind of found their sound as they went throughout the years,
Yeah.
from the Sid Barrett era all the
Yeah.
way to the Roger Waters era, and then was it the Gong Show where they interviewed, I guess, the group Pink Floyd, and then Sid Barrett was so high he just stood stared into the camera and was like, I think he was asking the question.
Yeah, he was fucking gorked out. I remember that.
And
Yeah.
it was just, and then I think you asked the question, and he just, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And they just
Yeah.
kicked him out immediately.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
I was like, oh. And so then I guess they replaced him, later on with Roger Waters. Although Sid Barrett, I think he was still making his own music. It wasn't that successful, but yeah, he was still kind of doing his own thing with that. And I've grown up mainly two types of parents. My dad, he listened to a lot of R&B and like old soul, Teddy Pendergrass, and Temptations, things like that. I grew up on that side.
Yeah.
And my mom listened to a lot of
Rolling Stone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my mom did more talk radio. She listened to like 90.3, which is the station around here, Garrison Keeler, Car Talk, things like that. I grew up listening to, and I, as an adult now, I kind of meshed the two together. And I listen to things like that. And I listen to stuff from my generation too, like rock music and some laid back stuff like that.
What year did you graduate high school?
007, 2007 for me. Wow. And that was my era. It was like, the fifth, like the biggest song in 2003 was 50 Cent in the Club. That was the number one song in 2003.
Wow.
So like
I graduated in 87. So 20 fucking years before you did, brother.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Because I'm an old fogey, motherfucker. But you know what? I appreciate all that, and I appreciate all that music and everything from those times. And continue with your dialogue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, and I enjoy. I grew up, scouting. I loved, going scouting, going outdoors. We're gonna go camping. In April, me, my other co-host, call him the Legend. He's on here sometimes. I'm gonna go with him. And another buddy of ours, we're gonna.
He's on here for like 8 minutes, and then he bolts, and then I want to fucking kick him in the nutsack because he's not fucking here.
Yes, yeah.
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye's one of them, and then I have a buddy of mine from college. He'll come on here sometimes. He was on my very first live show in the old house and in my old lounge back there. Yeah. So we're all gonna go hang out and do some camping up there. Up in northern Alabama, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Used to be. Are
you tent camp, or are you camper, or what do you do?
We do tent camping mainly, which is the best. And
it is, yeah.
Yes, and people are just like
that's real camping, bro. Especially if you're a scout,
Yeah.
My son went through Weeblos and all that shit. And I was a den master, and I love all that. It's a lot of work because you got to bring a lot of shit with you. But you know what? Once you get your camp set up, you're fine.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you ain't getting wet, and you're eating good, and you got everything you need. And it is that's camping to me, dude.
It is. And
I remember my dad used to have those old stinky ass fucking army canvas fucking tents. The fucking giant motherfuckers that took 3 days to set up, and they stink so fucking bad. But boy, you could have the holy hell rain down on you from above, and you stayed dry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. And I tried to get my son, and I was a den leader for like Wolf Pack. Oh, well, I did the tiger, and then did the wolf den, and then he didn't want. He was like, "Dad, I don't want to be out here and do all this. It's wet, and we're in the middle." And I'm like, "Man, that's what it's all about, man. You gotta, camp it out and rough it out." And he's more into like the artistic stuff, do more art things and
dude, these kids, and I'm just like, no, they live virtually, bro. You know what I mean? They're on their phones, they're on their computers, and everything, and every interaction they have, and everything is virtual. And I don't have to get that. I don't have to give a shit about that.
Right.
I do want them to come with me and be like, hey, there's a what are you gonna do when the fucking electricity grid goes down and daddy ain't getting the fucking generator hooked up to the house or whatever? What are you gonna do? You know, this is what I'm showing you. I'm trying to show you things that are real and
Yeah.
that you can still have a good time doing outside of this virtual world that you live in. You
Yeah.
know, but they don't give two shits about that, dude.
They
They don't
really
want to hear it.
don't.
They just don't care. And this is you trying to make time to be with them, to
Yeah.
share with them things that you have inherited from your family and your
Mhm.
fathers and your grandfathers and pass it on to them. And they don't want nothing to do with it, dude.
They really don't. I'm like,
It's a shame.
look around you outside. This is like beautiful, man. And he's just like, and he'd have his little
Yeah,
the switch or whatever he played with. And I'm like,
yeah.
don't bring that. Like, don't
The
bring that.
whole damn time you're driving
No.
down to wherever you're going or whatever, and they're on their fucking phone. And then when they get down there, I don't have service. Well, fucking good, you don't have service. And then they're
Exactly.
miserable. And then you got to put up with all that shit that comes from that, you know? And it's like, I'm trying to love you, boy, and I'm trying to share with you some shit, and I'm trying to
Exactly.
relate to you on my level. You
Yes.
know, come to my level. I don't want to come to your level.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Being a scout,
they don't care, and they don't want to have nothing to do with that.
yeah.
You
And
know?
I'm like, this changed my life, man. It made me a better person. You know, and I wanted to bring
Absolutely.
that to him. He's like, well, I don't want to do it now. And I'm like, well, okay. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but you know, and I was a little disappointed when he quit. My wife was just like, okay, give him a break because he's doing this, he's doing that. He wants to get into every single thing, but he wants to do it a little bit at a time and be like, okay, I tried this and then I'm gonna stop. Okay, I tried this and then I'm gonna stop. And I'm like, well,
Well, my son
you
did
gotta
the
do
same
something.
thing. So my son graduated summa cum laude from Blue Springs High School,
Oh, very
which
nice.
is the top school in the state of Missouri,
Good.
and
Wow.
had exceptional grades. And then I was like, I lived down in Wichita. That's where I met my wife. And
Yeah.
my brother Kevin lives down in Wichita, the one that I did the drum room thing on.
All right.
And I was like, dude, this is the air capital of the world. And so I got him into the aerospace engineering program at Wichita State University, which is down in the shit. And he didn't have to stay in the dorms because his uncle lived there and he could stay at my brother's house and live there. And that saved us like $18,000 a year
Yes,
and this, that, and another. And he went down there for a semester.
Yeah.
But he was also expecting the college life. You know, he was expecting some fucking females and some partying and some this and some that. And he's like, Dad, he's like, I can't do this. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, most of the people that I go to school with are like 45-year-old Turkish people or whatever. And it was just like, it wasn't the college experience that I was hoping him to have and he was hoping for him to have. And he was like, Dad, I'm just tired of studying. I've been studying hard for years. I just want to come home and get a job. And I said, well, it's your life, you know? And I have always ever since he was 6 years old, I've let him make his own decisions. You know what I mean? It's your life, buddy. It's your life. You do what you want to do. So he came home, and I was glad because, man, when he left to go to college, it ripped his mother and my heart out. You know, we cried for days that our baby boy was gone and wasn't with us anymore, you know. And he came home and he went to work for Costco as Christmas help one season. And out of 60 people that they hired for Christmas help, they hired on 3 people out of all those 60 as permanent help. He was one of them.
Okay.
And so he got in there and he started, doing checking, and then he started doing stocking, and he started driving forklift and loading trucks, and he did the management training thing and all that shit. Well, he was just like, I just I want to be a material handler, and he unloads trucks and he does stock and he does this and that. But dude, he's making like 28 fucking dollars an hour
Hey,
Costco with immaculate fucking benefits. I
that's
mean, they
good.
take really good care of their people.
That's
And
awesome.
but I was just like, you know what? It's your life, son. You do what you want to do. And you can stay here and dude, so this is what he's done. So he's been doing that for a little over 4 years now. And the whole time, because he's been living with us,
Okay.
he has been dumping 50% of his pay into his 401k.
Okay.
And at 25, he's getting ready to be 26 years old here in March.
Yeah.
He's got over 100 grand in his fucking 401k.
That's good.
And his
Yeah.
FICO score is like close to 800. It's like 792.
Oh
And,
wow.
and he
Okay.
plays the credit card game, and he plays the benefit game, and buy this and do that, and he switches cards, and he knows all that shit. I can't do it because I'm a broke ass motherfucker, and I don't know how to play those games. I don't have no goddamn credit. And but so he's living here, and I make him pay our electric bill, and
Yeah.
that's all I make him pay. But that's like $300 a month.
Mm.
And so he does that, and then one day we come home, and my wife, I bought this Ford Expedition for my wife, and we put like 8 grand into this truck, getting all the drive lines redone and fixing everything and making this a car that would last her for a while. And she got in a fucking wreck. Some bitch
Mm.
pulled out in front of her on
Um.
a yellow light, a yellow turn signal light, and
Yeah.
plowed into her. Well, the insurance company wanted to total the car, so we lost that
Mm.
and bought this fucking piece of shit fucking thing car to get her by. And I ended up just like letting that thing go back. I bought it from a friend of mine that has a car lot, and I was like, dude, this thing's a piece of shit. We don't want it anymore. Blah blah blah. He's like, I don't give a fuck because I've already made money off of you, and I'll sell it again. And we come home one day, and there's a brand fucking new Nissan Rock Creek Pathfinder, all black, sitting out in the fucking driveway. And we're thinking, hey, baby boy bought him a new car. This is fucking awesome. He's feeling his shit and he's earning his shit. And we ask him about it. And he's like, Mom, come here. And he takes her out there. And he bought that car for his fucking mom.
Oh wow.
Fucking gave her that fucking, it's like $35,000 fucking car.
Wow.
And he gave that to his mother because he wanted her to have good transportation, and he
Yeah.
loved her that much.
Wow.
And I was like, God damn,
Right.
how how is how do I deserve to have a son this wonderful that is gonna do that for his mom? Who does that? No, none of these young kids are gonna fucking do something like that for their parents.
It's beautiful.
And he did. He fucking bought his mom a brand new fucking car, and he's still paying on it.
It's beautiful.
But he's doing it for his own good, for his credit and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Because I bought him a brand new fucking Toyota Celica GT for his graduation present and gave it to him. And that car is still rocking. And every time it needs something, I teach him how to put brakes on it, or I teach him how to do a tune up on it, or whatever. And that's something that we do together.
That's nice.
But yeah, for a child to buy a parent a fucking amazing vehicle, and just give it to her. Um, Brenda was just I'm still in tears, and she is too. And it's
This
just
is,
like, oh my god, this kid. But I spoiled him fucking rotten. You know what I mean? He had everything. He had, the amazing fucking bunk bed with the slide, and he had the fucking friends, and he had the parties, and he had the fucking electric scooters, and he had the fucking, Baja fucking thing, and I'm gonna do a stick and a story on this.
yeah.
So when he got that little Baja thing, um, his principal got a promotion, and they wanted to do a special event, appreciation event for her. And so Brandon had his little Baja mini bike, little gas mini bike, and I had one of my old 77 Harleys that I did a full restoration on, that
Ooh,
Brandon and I did together when he was a little boy.
oh,
In
wow.
fact, that's this tattoo that I have
Okay.
is so this is a fucking this is a
Good.
iron this is a iron head motor.
Okay.
See, that's got like a skull for the intake and shit, but it's an iron head motor.
Oh,
So that
wow.
that reflects him and I building that motorcycle together. We did a frame off restoration. That's where I taught him a lot about tools and how to use them and all that shit.
It's
But
beautiful.
anyway, when this happened, so we rode up to the school that was around the corner from our house that we were living in at the time. And we pulled in, they opened the front door, and I'm on my fucking Harley Sportster, and he's on his little bike. And we pick up the principal, and she gets on the back of my Harley with me. And we ride down the hallway all the way down to the gym and pull in with both of our bikes, and take her we would deliver her to this fucking event that she didn't even know she was having. You know what I
Oh,
mean? And my son, it was everybody in the school just like, holy fuck, look at this dude, and look at what he's got, and look at what they're doing right now. And I've always done that. It's like every year that my son was in elementary school, it was like once a year I would go up and I would buy McDonald's for the whole class. How many kids you got? I'm gonna go up and get fucking cheeseburgers and fries and cokes for everybody. And we
oh,
did
wow.
that every year. And yeah, but it was like, to help him out socially, to uh make people like, wow, Brandon's fucking cool motherfucker. His dad just brought us McDonald's and this, that, and another. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same thing with the motorcycle thing and the whole bit. It was just like, I couldn't do enough to make my son be the coolest son bitch in school, to be somebody that was accepted and respected and everything. But that, riding Miss Grant down to the fucking thing, pumping a fucking Harley down an elementary school hallway into the gym was fucking epic.
I bet. Wow.
And
Mm.
I'm gonna do that on. I'm gonna do that on a stick and a story. That's gonna be one of the ones I need to do, because that's a fucking great fucking story, and I got the video of it all. The
Oh,
whole bit of it. And it's old school, like camcorder shit. But
oh,
it'll put up on, and I'll be able to post it. But
yeah. It's an
just
incredible story. Yeah.
I got an amazing
No.
fucking son,
Yeah.
and he's a hardworking kid, and he loves us, and his mom wakes up in the middle of the fucking night when he gets home from work, and fixes him his food, and she does his laundry. And I mean, he's spoiled fucking rotten, yo.
Oh
You know?
man.
But I wouldn't have it any other way, you know. But here he is, he's living in our house, and he's paying my fucking electric bill, and he's paying the car payment on his mother's fucking car, you know.
Awesome.
And you know what kid nowadays, these virtual fucking reality fucking children, does that?
Mhm.
No, not many of them, if
No.
any. You know, so I feel truly blessed to have that, and to have him here. And he's saving up money so he wants to buy a duplex and then
Okay.
rent the other half of it out and live there for a while and save up some fucking more money and then buy his own home and then rent both of the duplexes out. And you know, he's got a fucking plan. You know, he's a gland, if you will, not a, you know. And he's got a gland, and he's going for it. And I'm just happy that he is here, and that, you know, he
Yeah.
is still with us. And you know, motherfucker eats me out of house and home. I can't tell you how many times I'll buy goddamn Nutter Butters, and I'll get like 2 out of the whole fucking thing because he eats them all and shit. But it is what it is. You know what I mean?
There you go. That's awesome. Wow.
It is. It
Especially
really.
helping your mother out in that time of need and paying for a
Yeah,
new car. That's yeah, you don't see that. Yeah.
dude, you
How
don't
often
ever
that
see that. You
ever
know. In fact, I tell that story to a lot of people, and they're like, "What?" You know, I wish
nope.
my fucking kid would buy me a car. I wish my kid loved me enough to fucking do whatever or pay for some fucking groceries or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And here this kid is. He's paying, you know, a fucking $600 a month fucking car payment so that his mom can have a fucking awesome fucking ride. You know.
That's awesome. And that's getting back. Even when I lived with my parents for a short amount of time, yeah, you help them out with whatever you can. You know, for me, you gotta help with some groceries here and there and doing things like that. But dang, getting them your mom a brand new car, hey,
Yeah.
that's what's up. That's
It's
incredible, man.
it's pretty stellar. You know, it's pretty unimaginable that you could have a kid that appreciates everything that you've done for him so much that he's willing to sacrifice that much. But I mean, fuck, he ain't got no other bills. You know, we buy all his fucking food. He's got fucking super speed internet, and I pay for his fucking phone and every fucking thing. And you know, that's his only 2 bills he's got is his mom, and I pay the fucking insurance. You know,
Mm,
uh, and I pay the fucking property taxes on the shit. You know, so it's like, uh, you know, he pays the electric bill and his mama's car payment, and that's his rent. You know, but he offered to do that. I didn't ask him to fucking do that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So that does nothing but just help me and help my wife and help my family, you know, survive. And he's smart enough to know that. And dude, he's just, like I said, he's just fucking banking, you know. Kid's got more fucking money in his 401k than I have equity in my home, you know.
and the fact that he did that, utilized those skills that you taught him, putting together the motorcycle, doing
Yeah,
all that, and using it for the greater good, and not being like, hey, now I know this, and I can go do something else.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
incredible.
He
Yeah,
he knew how spoiled he was, and he knew that. I've never been one of those parents that I've like tried to live vicariously through my kid. Like I know so many of
right.
these guys that I went to school with that they like pound their fucking kids into playing baseball and football and basketball and this, that, and another. And then, you know, they're 18 and they're having fucking Tommy John surgery and their knees are blowing out and this, that, and another. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never fucking did that. I started treating my son like he was 21 fucking years old when he was 6. In fact, I bought him his first fucking rifle, his first 22 rifle, when he was 6 years old.
Wow.
You know, and taught him gun safety and taught him about what this is for and how you use this and every fucking thing. You know,
That's good.
and just and I've always let him made his own decisions. You know what I mean? I've never been that dad that was like, you're gonna fucking do this and you're gonna do that because I wish I done that or whatever. No,
Mhm.
it's your fucking life, kid. Your life. You make the choices.
Yeah.
It's my job to offer you opportunities. That's a dad's real job. A dad's real job is to offer your children opportunities.
Mhm.
It's their responsibility to choose what they want to do,
It's deep.
not the other way around. Not the dad shoving a fucking agenda down a kid's fucking throat. Which
Yes.
that's mostly is what happens nowadays.
Yeah.
These kids don't have a fucking choice. These kids are being fed a fucking spoonful of an agenda and they're having to fucking, well, I don't have any choices because mom wants me to do that or dad wants me to do that. Well,
Yeah.
but then they're fucking miserable and then they're shitty fucking kids.
Amen to that. Yep.
You know, they're shitty fucking kids because they don't have a choice. You know, I never fucking was going to do that to my kid because I tell this to people 100 fucking times. I never truly knew what love was until my son was born.
I've heard you said that last night. Yeah. When you were talking
And
about
that's
Rise and
true.
Grind. Yeah.
You know, you love your parents, you love your wife, you love your grandparents, you love whatever. But that love that you have for your child is something special, and it's something from God. And it's something that only you can recognize and something that only you can do something about.
Yeah.
So having that and experiencing that, there's no fucking way that I'm going to be one of these shithead fucking dads that's going to spoon feed a bunch of shit on my kid. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to do that, and I won't do that. And I never have. And he's the chillest fucking kid. You know what I mean? He's never been in trouble. The only time I've ever even had to like whoop that boy was when he told his mom to fuck you one time. He's like, "Fuck you, mom." But he heard that from me. You know.
Oh. No.
You know? And I was sat him down. I swatted his little ass, and I was like, "You don't talk to your mother. I can talk to your mother like that, but you can't." You know.
Hey, that's incredible.
And since then, dude, I mean, fuck, he graduated top of his class, and he's fucking just this amazing fucking boy that I'm so proud of.
It's beautiful.
And it just it's so fulfilling. I thought parenting was going to be, and I have a stepdaughter with my wife. My stepdaughter, her name's Tiffany, and shit, she's going on almost 40 now. But she was there to be there for her brother and help raise him and everything, And she's a brilliant kid, and she's actually a lunch lady at a local high school. She loves kids and she loves food, and that was her dream. And it was just like, okay, do what you need to do what you want to do. I don't care. Never ever stepped in my kids' way of being who they want to be. Whether I think it's good enough or not doesn't matter. It's what they want. It's what they want and what they need to make them happy. And that's where the happiness comes from, is having their own freedom to choose what they need to do without their parents being a bunch of fucking douchers and shoving a fucking agenda down their throat. And I've never done that, and I won't ever do that. And I'm proud of both of my kids. I'm proud of them both, and
Awesome, man. And that's
yeah,
how I kind of grew up the same way. Well, my mom really wanted me to be a nurse. She in college she had a couple of credits shy of being a nurse, and so throughout high school she's like, "Well, you need to shadow with this and shadow with that." I'm like, "I don't want to be a nurse. I don't like," and it's weird. I don't like needles because that's a big thing. You gotta,
yeah,
do shots to do that. And it was almost for a long time with my parents. It was almost disappointing. She's like, they're like it was weird. I'm like I went to dinner with them tonight and we're all cordial and it took a long time to get to this point. And my wife
yeah,
makes a joke was just like, "Oh, you should have been a nurse." And I'm like, "Well, that's not the route that I wanted to take." My mom was trying to live vicariously through me and trying
gotcha.
to
I
do that.
get
And I'm
that.
like,
I get that. Hmm.
I like more research. I like more clinical science. That's my area, doing plasma studies and stuff like that. And that's what I enjoy doing. Even that's where my degree comes from.
Yeah,
And I was just like, well, you make more money as a nurse. Well, okay, well, maybe, yeah, but that's not. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be successful at it. And for a long time, they're like, you do this, otherwise you'll end up like this. Do this, or the consequences. Well, you'll end up like that. And I'm just like, well,
well, but that's
no.
bullshit too.
And I'm like, that was my whole upbringing. And when I met my
Yeah.
wife, the wife's like, no,
Mhm.
no, you pick your path as long as you ain't hurt nobody. You still you contribute to society and you do what you want to do in different ways. As long and you appreciate it more. And it sounds like you're saying you appreciate it more as you're doing it, as you're going through. But yeah, it's just and that's and I tell people I'm like this is your life,
Yeah.
the time is very limited, and I'm
Well,
telling
and
you
that's it. That's
at a young
it.
age
And
too.
it's their life. It's not your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And these parents that grind on these kids and force them into situations that makes them unhappy and whatever. There's no fucking way that I'm gonna do that to my kids. You know what I mean? Because my parents did that shit to me and hammered on me and my mother and I. When my mom died like 30 years ago, you know. I have
Mm.
not had my mom for a long time, and my dad died about 7 months ago.
Oh, wow.
And both of them had an agenda that they thought that I needed to follow and I needed to do. And my mom estranged me just because I wouldn't go to her fucking church, you know,
Mm.
and just cut me out of her fucking life because of that. And I was like,
Mm.
no, you know what? You guys have moved me all over the fucking place in the last 5 years, and I've had to
Mm.
make new friends everywhere I go.
Yeah, that's
And
hard.
I can't come into a new school, be in a high school, and not have a fucking presence, not show up with a fucking presence, and you're fighting that and you don't like that because I don't want to go to your church and hang out and pardon my fucking French, but hang out with these fucking faggot fucking dudes that went to this church. I was like, I don't fucking want nothing to do with these fucking guys,
Yeah, they wanted me to be like a certain type of not stereotype of look at what XY this person's doing, that person's doing, that person's doing. I'm like, okay, and yeah,
Well,
so it's like
these guys were straight
yeah.
up like hitting on me and shit. I mean,
Oh.
they were real. They were real coming out of the closet uh,
Oh, oof.
fags. You know,
Okay. Uh,
and I know that's not. I'm old. I don't give a fuck. That's what you are. But anyway,
I guess
yeah.
you.
So they was like hitting on me, and they was doing all this shit, and I'm like, Mom, I'm not. I don't want to go to your fucking church, and I don't want to be around these motherfuckers.
Sure.
And she didn't want to listen to me when I was trying to tell her what they were doing and what they were saying and
Mm,
whatever. And so I was like, I'm out.
yeah.
Well, then she just fucking kicks me out of the fucking house, and I'm on
Mm,
my fucking own. I'm on my fucking own at 17 fucking years old.
yeah.
ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
Right.
You know? And I was mad. I
Yeah.
was fucking mad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And my mom died, and we were on the outs because of that shit. And I can never get that back. I could never have that conversation with my mom to be like, hey, do you realize that you abandoned me because of these fuck shitbird motherfuckers? You know, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't even know why, because you won't even listen to what I have to say.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, so I've had a fucking hard go of it. I've had a lot of shit. I've had to spoon feed myself and like it. You know,
You came up. You
but
got through it. Or you getting through it. Yeah. I
I
didn't speak to my parents for years. They didn't. And I'll go another step further too. They didn't like my wife because, well, she doesn't have a college degree, and everybody in this room, including my mom, my dad, my sister, had some form of college education. My dad prided himself on his side of the family. Nobody on my side of the family doesn't have at least a bachelor's degree, and I'm like, well, what does that matter? You know, and well, my son may end up breaking that tradition coming down the road. My wife makes almost as much as I do now with no college degree, but with a ton of, you know, coding and experience and things like that.
I
And we're
went
on the
to
same par
school of
with each
hard
other and stuff
knocks.
like
You
that.
know,
And
I
I
done
didn't
got
speak to my folks for like 5 years at one
college,
point. It was
but
like dinner tonight. That was one of the most cordial things we've had in a very long time. And it took
yeah,
years to I built that up. My siblings are like, why aren't you talking to mom? Why aren't you talking to, you know, every time they come visit us, like, why aren't you talking to mom? Why aren't you talking to dad? And I'm like, y'all know why. You know, my wife hasn't done anything to harm
do
you.
I need to fucking
I'm
explain
like,
it to you for the 17th fucking time?
exactly.
You know,
Yep.
quit fucking breaking my balls, because my relationship with my mother is not your fucking business. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's my business. My
Right.
relationship with mom is solely mine,
Right.
and you can wish and think and want all you need to
Yeah.
make you feel better, but it's my relationship with her.
Right.
You know, so shut the fuck up.
And that's,
You know?
yeah, essentially, I'm
But
like,
they don't want to hear that, and they don't want to listen to that because they feel like it's their job to intercede, and because maybe they had a better relationship with her than you do. Well, great, but I don't have that, so don't
right.
fuck with me. You
Right.
know what I mean? Don't push me.
Right.
Don't bring me into your realm of expectation, because that's not your business. That's my business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll never
And
forget that night. Yeah.
I know that all too well. I've lived it. I've suffered it. I've done whatever, And like I said, my mom's been dead for 30 years, you know. And and I was on the outs with her when she died. And I still deal with that, and I still have to justify my actions and everything and judge myself because of it. But you know what? When it comes down to the bottom of it all, it don't matter because I was standing up for myself.
That's it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was speaking out to be me. And if you love me like you say you do, you're my mom, and you love me like I love my child,
Yeah.
that shouldn't have been an issue. You put your church before you put me.
Yeah. That's not right.
And if that's the way you want to do it, fine. And I have no regrets, you
Yep.
know. RA. That's my credo. I got no regrets.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. And yeah,
Um,
that's how I look back
you know
on
what I'm
it.
saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna go there. But I sure in the hell ain't gonna do that to my children.
No.
And
Yeah.
and I'm blessed because of it. Because of how my kids treat me, how my kids take
Yes.
care of their mother, you know.
Yes. And
And
that's beautiful too. I'm like, support your children. Don't I don't want them going through what I went through either. It's just I couldn't imagine. doing that. And my sister, like, it was so bad, that whole falling out, when I introduced them to my wife, like, hey, here's my wife, and the way I did it, Fogey, I surprised, and I don't know, maybe I did it the wrong way or didn't present it the right way. I surprised them, like, hey, I'm getting engaged. I'm talking, and they knew I was talking to my wife at the time. Hey, I'm getting engaged. Hey, here we are. And everyone looked at me like I was crazy, like, what? You know, this is the person you're gonna do this. I'm like, you should have been with
and they're like all disappointed
with a black girl. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, but
and you're like, hey,
okay,
fuck
but
you, fuck your fucking pizza, fuck Frank Sinatra. This is my woman. This is who I love. This is my girl. And if you love me, you better love her, because if you don't, you won't have either one of us.
That's how it was.
You know what I mean? Seriously, you won't have either one of us, because this is my life. This is my choice, and this is who I have chosen to be my life mate. If you can't respect me enough to love the person that I love, then nice knowing you.
Exactly.
Because you lost out, not me. I'm not losing out. You're losing out. Because I'm going to love this woman, and we're going to build life together, and we're going to have children, and you're not going to have anything to do with them, because you're being a shitbird right now.
Yeah.
You know?
It was. Absolutely. Yeah. It was a hard 5 years. I remember they took the car away. They cut off my phone. I was trying to get a job. My wife's father-in-law, I still remember the day. I had to go get a prepaid phone from Walmart that night. It was like the most dramatic scene. It was raining. It was cold outside. I had no way of communication. He's like, he had to, they took my car away. My sister called me the N-word. I'm just gonna be real. They called me the N-word because apparently I hurt my parents that much. And I'm like, wow, where's this coming from? Like, it was awful. It was awful. They left me. They took my car that I was going to work. My father had to drive 2 towns away to pick me up, go back to my apartment, go get a prepaid phone. Like, I can remember this from day one of all this happening. And I'm just like, man. And then they're like, no, you need to get out of that apartment. I'm like, I'm paying for this apartment from my job that I'm working. Like, what, you're gonna take me out of my own apartment? And like, it was like they were still treating me like I was a teenager. And I'm like,
baby.
I'm like, I'm in my mid-20s. I'm not, old, but I'm not.
Give me some fucking respect.
Like, I'm trying to build a life. I'm trying to, I'm not getting in trouble or anything.
I'm trying to be me, not many you. You know what I mean? And sometimes parents don't get that, and they won't allow that. They think that my kid just needs to be a carbon copy of what I want him to be and whatever. But that is some selfish bullshit, because it's so right as a human being to decide your own future, and especially the person that you love, especially your mate. You know what I mean? Now, if they was coming in and stealing the motherfucking the goddamn Thanksgiving fucking silverware and this, that, and another, and going through mama's purse and pulling out 20s and sticking them in their pocket and what? No, they're not doing that. You know why? Because that's my woman, and she's fucking awesome. And if you don't love her, then you don't fucking love me either.
Yeah, and I'm like, you knew this was coming. You knew we were talking. Yeah, serious. All the signs were there, and then just they pulled the rug from under me, and now it was a hard 5 years trying to do all that. But she stuck by me, helped me get to work, helped me do all this until we tried to work through all of that. And then I tried to talk to other members of my family, and they're just like, you got to keep the family together. You got to talk to your mom and the dad.
I don't have to do nothing but what I want to. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Your brothers and sisters want to judge, and they want to chime in, and they want to whatever. And it's like, hey, mom ain't fucking with your mate. Mom ain't telling you who you can fucking be with or who they like in your fucking life. So don't fucking come at me like that, because you got no fucking business doing that.
Yeah. And 10 years later, here we are. 10 years later, we've been married 10 years, and I'm, where everybody else, y'all getting divorced and
I'm the
breaking up.
same way. I've been with my woman for
Hey,
30 fucking years.
hey,
And,
come
and
on
I've
now.
got siblings that fucking, have been with their family for their mates for a long time,
Right.
but they was betting on me to fail,
Mm-hmm.
because they
Oh, mine
knew
were too.
me. They knew I was a fucking drug addict. They knew I was a fucking
Mm,
alcoholic. They knew, but you know what? None of them had to go through what I went through. You know what I mean? None of them came home to all their shit in fucking plastic bags, and I was on my fucking own.
oh,
They
Bogey, they
still
threw
had
my stuff in the
mom,
rain too.
and
They
they
threw.
still had dad, and they still had somebody. I went through all that shit on my own, and I had to do what I had to do to fucking survive.
Mhm,
And they didn't, because my sister had my mother and my brother had my father.
that right
You
there.
know who I had? I had me, and
Hmm.
I had my friends,
Hmm.
and I had the people that took pity on me. They fucking took pity on me.
Oh yeah.
And teachers, even that I still talk to today.
Oh yeah.
Mrs. Hawksley,
Mm,
uh, she was my English teacher in high school, and she was in a room that had two teacher desks, and I would come in and she would look at me and she'd
mm,
see how fucking tired and worn out I was. And
yeah.
she respected the fact that I still was coming to school, even though I had all these hardships. And she was like,
Mm,
Sean, I want you just to go tuck yourself under that desk over there and take a nap, get some
mm.
sleep.
All
And I
right.
got you. She knew I was smart and she knew that I could do the work, but she didn't need me to do it. And she took pity on me and she let me sleep, you know, and and I still talk to her this day. I call her Ma,
Oh.
and because my mom's been dead for a long time, and I still talk to her, and I still talk to Mrs. Hawksley, and I'm like, hey, I love you, and I appreciate you being in my corner, and I appreciate you being there for me and looking out for me. And she's like, well, yeah, she's like, I understand what you're going through, and I knew you were smart enough to do the work, and I knew that wasn't the issue. It was just that you had all this shit sandwich that you had to eat in life,
Hmm.
and take a nap, get some rest because you need it. Because I can look at you and you're about ready to fucking fall the fuck over, you know. And so
Yeah.
I had people like that looking out for me in my life,
That's
you know.
good. You have somebody there that you know you're not the cause of, so you're not the bad person. You're simply trying to live a life, a good life in a way too. And it's just, and speaking of folks, my folks, my wife and girlfriend at the time, she was moving her stuff into my apartment, and my parents just burst in with my sister saying, picking up her stuff, throwing it out. And she had her engagement ring. It was like something out of like a Lifetime movie. It was crazy. She took the engagement ring off, gave it back to me. I'm like, oh shit, is this really over? Because all her stuff was just thrown out in the rain outside of the apartment complex.
Wow.
All her stuff out there. And I said, what the hell is going on? You don't need to be with this woman. And my dad, it took him a long time, but he eventually, yeah, I screwed up. I'm sorry. And he said it. He said it in like an email or something. He handed to me like, "Yeah, we screwed up. Here's your stuff back. Come by and pick it up. Get the key. Get
Wow.
the deed to the car." And that I put together. And I'm just like, okay, it took you. I mean, he eventually owned up to like, okay, you're just growing up, living your life. This is the person you want to be with.
Yeah.
And it was nuts, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
It shouldn't have been that difficult. You shouldn't have had
I,
to battle we shouldn't have to battle with them over something that you wanted to do,
yeah,
somebody that you wanted to be with,
yeah, and like my
you
wife is
know,
incredible.
and fuck all that,
Yeah, it's like
And
it's like,
I hope that, that with time going by, maybe you've been able to reconcile with them or whatever. I've been able to
yeah,
reconcile with my siblings, but I've stated my case. It's like,
Oh yeah.
You know, y'all motherfuckers was spoiled rotten, and you still had mom paying bills, or you still had dad giving you a fucking job that you didn't fucking deserve,
Yeah.
and fucking paying you money to pay your fucking bills.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I had? I had me,
Mm-hmm.
and I had people that cared about me,
Yeah.
and that's all I had.
Yep.
In fact, I went to my fucking uh, vice principal, Dr. Lytle, and I was like, "Hey, so I heard that you guys have this thing called independent student status, and I need to see about getting on that and
Mm-hmm.
what it's about." And he was like, "Well, how independent are you?" I said, "Well, I got a job before work, and I come to school, and I fucking go to a job after school, and I'm fucking this, that, and another, and I got my own place, and blah blah blah." And he's like, "Okay," he's like, "Yeah, so you're fully independent." But he's like, "Here's the thing: is you gotta you can leave this school whenever you need to go do whatever you need to. But if you don't put the work in to get the credits that you need to
Yeah.
graduate, then you're not gonna fucking graduate."
Right.
And that's
Right.
all I have to say about that. Which that was great, because then that opened me up, because we didn't have open school. And so like every day I'm like going to people, and I'm like, "All right, I'm going to High Boys," and which is a local legend fucking smash burger fucking place that's been around since the 1950s. And I'm going to McDonald's, and I'm going to Wendy's. So what the fuck do you want? People would give me their fucking orders, and people would give me their money, and I'd go and get their shit, and I kept their change. You know what I mean? It's like, you ain't getting no fucking change back. You know, that's mine. And I would charge them a premium to go do this. But then I'd come back at lunchtime and delve out all this fucking food, but it fed me, and it put gasoline in my fucking Mustang, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how part of how I got by, you
Right.
know, was that simply, you know, and I did it every fucking day. You know, and I didn't get in trouble because I could leave the school grounds whenever I wanted to, because I was on independent student status, you know.
Okay.
And and I did. I got my fucking, you know, I got my fucking diploma, and I
Mm-hmm.
was a goddamn varsity football athlete. I was a varsity track athlete, and I
Nice.
still am a school record holder for throwing the hammer.
Nice.
And I was in student council too, you know.
Wow.
And everybody had respect for me, because they were like, "Here's this fucking kid that's got fed a shit sandwich, and he could just easily drop out, but he doesn't. He wants to continue his education. He wants to
Yeah.
finish." So
Oh, yeah.
that's why I had all these teachers that came in that helped me, that guided me, that gave me shit, gave me nappy time in the middle of the day, because they were like, "Dude, you're about ready to fall the fuck over. Go take a nap," you know, kind of shit, you know.
Yeah. That's
And
incredible.
yeah, so
Man.
that's kind of what I've had to deal with and what I had to do. But it mentally prepared me to fucking hit the ground running, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been my own man for a long fucking time,
Yeah.
you know, and been able to make decisions for me, make decisions for my family,
Right.
you know, that matter, you know. And don't give two fucks about what people have to say. I don't give two fucks about what people have to say about me. You can say whatever the fuck you want to, you know. You have not walked around in my size 10s on this fucking earth
Right.
and been through the shit that I've been through. So the
Mm-hmm.
little snide comments and the little shit that you have to say about me, you can go fuck yourself, you know, honestly, you know, because you have no idea what I've been through to get where I am and to be the man that I am today.
There you go. There you go. That's it. Yeah. That's that right there says it all. People, yeah. So y'all can say what you want to about me, but hey, you don't
Don't matter.
you don't know. You don't know. Yeah. my side of it, and then my parents are like, well, this, and they're getting older, and they try to distort it like, well, we didn't do this, or it wasn't as bad as it
Oh
was.
yes, you fucking did. Yeah.
Oh, I can still see that image, see those days, all that.
Oh, I can still feel that fucking belt. Or my grandfather was a barber and he had razor straps, and my dad used to take my grandpa's fucking razor straps and beat my fucking ass with them. You know, that's another thing. These goddamn kids today, you know, when the government took the ability for parents to whoop their kids' fucking asses when they need it, and they do.
Yes.
And you kids don't realize you need a fucking ass whooping because you're fucking out of control and you don't know what the fuck it means to have an ass whooping to get your life back on course.
Oh, Lord,
like
amen to that. Amen to that.
When they took that away from it, that's when everything went to shit.
Yep, Fogey, they'll call CPS on you now because careful now. But yeah, but you're right. You can't do anything. I spanked my son one time because he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. He was upset. He had to wait by the bus. I'm like, we got to get out here. You're gonna miss the bus. You got to get out here. And I'm like, I spanked him, and he went to his teacher and he said, I had a bad day at school. And he went to his counselor and his little teacher. Later on that day, I see this car coming into my driveway, and I'm thinking, oh, it's like Amazon or somebody's lost. Where we lived, it was in
family services.
Yeah, it was CPS that showed up, and this lady knocks on my door, and I'm like, okay, who is this? Oh, I'm so and so from CPS, the after hour service. I'm like, CPS. So we go in, and I'm just like, yeah, we got a call that you hit your child, and I'm like, yeah, I spanked him and then he was messing with his little sister. He shoved his sister on the ground on like the concrete driveway where we were, and I'm just like, yeah, I spanked him because he was acting out of control.
I whooped his little ass.
Yeah, basically, I told the woman, I'm like, I whooped him. Yes, I whipped him, and my wife's like, you can't do that because CPS is gonna show up, and sure enough,
and they fucking did,
and they did. I still have the letter from the KI, which is our governor here in Alabama, the letter that says you've done this, and I'm like, oh Lord, I got KI. I'm doing all that. And I'm like,
exactly
yeah,
what I'm talking about.
I spanked my child.
They took the right for us to discipline our children as we see fit. Now, I'm not beating them with a motherfucking billy club. Right. I'm not putting black welts on their ass like I got. I didn't get fists to my kid like I got fucking hit with fists at the end of it all because I was so big, but
they take the strap, the switch.
Kids need an ass whooping every once in a while so that they know that you're serious, and they need to fucking listen to you because you're the fucking parent.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you literally shoved your sister down.
Not you, not your little sniveling little fucking ass. I'm in charge. Exactly. I'm the one paying all your bills. I'm the one feeding you. I'm the one doing all this fucking shit.
Yep.
And if you're going to be a little shitbird, I'm going to whoop your ass.
Exactly.
Not out of hate or malice or anything else, but because you got a fucking lesson coming to you, boy or girl. And when they took that away from us,
right,
and stop that ability for us to discipline our own children. Now, some people take it too far, and some people actually abuse their kids. I don't think an ass whooping is abuse. I think an ass whooping is a fucking attitudinal correction. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And there's no difference between that. It's abuse now. It's all abuse. Physical touching of your child is abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And they wonder why all these kids are so fucking buck wild and fucked up and disrespectful and fucking, I identify as a feline, so now I'm a fucking cat.
Oh, or no.
My name used to be Larry, and now my name is Michelle, and all this fucking shit. Do whatever the fuck you want to, but man, don't fucking blame that shit on me. Don't fucking come back at me. Then the society wants to come back on you because you didn't whoop these kids' ass and keep them in fucking line and keep them out of all this bullshit. And now it's our fucking fault
Right.
that these kids are like this and that society has turned this way. Well, yeah, because I
Yep.
didn't get to slap the shit out of them when they were little bastards.
It starts, and that's what I mean. It starts there, and they say, psychologically spanking your kids, it leaves certain things on you. But I'm like,
I don't want to spank my fucking kid. It hurts me.
I don't like doing it.
This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you.
Yeah, I'm like,
I heard that, and I know it, and it does. I don't want to discipline my fucking child. I don't want to whoop their little ass.
right.
But motherfucker, if you're fucking with my shit and you're pouring coke down my fucking stereo, or you're being a little asshole to your mother, or you're doing whatever, I'm gonna whoop your little fucking ass.
You have to. You have to. It's because the kids now they can say one thing. And I'm like, CPS is there. I'm like, wait a second. They literally have to do a welfare check on that, where we were. Like, do your kids have food? Are they taking care of this?
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a second. What is this? Like, it was crazy. And my wife's like, right, I told you
more groceries on them than I eat. You know what I mean? They got more food than I have. I'm the one sacrificing in this fucking relationship.
And I'm like, man.
And they come in and make you the fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
But these kids can do that. They can, my mommy, my daddy's so mean to me, and you need to come talk to them. And then you're fucking in trouble. You're in the fucking hot seat. You're calling Wells, and Alvarez to save your fucking ass, so you don't go to fucking jail.
Yeah,
over the shit. And spending money on a fucking lawyer because you wanted to discipline your own fucking child.
Yeah. I was nervous because when I saw them show up, I said, man, what have I gotten into? I thought I was just, I don't know. Now it's like, if my son, I try to be like, let me not say anything. I said, Rachel, let me, you talk to him because he's this, like the personality things. It's just like he'll yell or get upset, and I'm like, you can't do all that, man. And then expect, when you get into the real world, it's gonna tolerate that, man. That's what I'm trying. I'm like,
but that's the thing. You're trying to prepare them for the hardship of what the real world is really like, because it's not gonna coddle you. And it's not gonna fucking bow down to your little fucking sniveling fucking country. You know what I mean?
I thought
it's gonna hit you in the fucking face. And all I'm trying to do is prepare my kid for the hardship of being a fucking adult, because adulting is hard. These kids, they want to grow up so fast and they want to be fucking adults. Well, you fucking be one, because let me tell you something. You can pay these fucking bills and you can get your ass out there and fucking work, because when you get out of fucking school, that's all there is. It's fucking 50 fucking years of work.
Yep.
And if they ain't prepared for that shit and they're little sniveling ass little shitbirds, and because you haven't been able to fucking discipline them properly and show them how hard the world really is, you think it's hard for me and your mom? Wait till you get out there. Wait till your fucking your boss or your coworkers are fucking up your ass because you're a little shitbag. Yep. You know what I mean? Then come and cry to me and call family fucking services because I was so hard on you, because these motherfuckers are going to tear you to pieces.
Yes. Dude, that's what we have to prepare them for. And I'm like, I don't want to do this, but I'm saying, and I don't know if you've seen this video. It was a college student. He was mad he had to work like 20 hours at Starbucks. And I even made a joke to the CPS lady. I said, I'm disciplining my child. I'm trying to prepare him for this, because I don't want him going on YouTube making a video, be like, I worked 18 hours and now I'm crying. And I'm like, what have we done here? I'm like, don't
it. What have we done? You know what I mean? Because I'm working 50 or 60 fucking hours a week.
Exactly. Yeah.
At my fucking age. You know what I mean? And I had the American dream of I'm going to retire and I'm going to be able to live off my fucking social security. And I'm going to be, you know what, motherfucker? I'm going to work and I'm going to die at fucking work. I'm not
Yeah.
ever going to fucking be able to retire. You know
Not
what
in
I
this
mean?
economy.
Because I can't make it on whatever the fuck it is that I'm going to have on social security if it's even there when I fucking retire.
Yeah, that's a scary thing. Yeah.
You know, and here you are, you're sniveling about having to go to fucking work for half a fucking week when I'm working a week and a half every fucking week to give you every fucking thing that you've had.
Right.
And I'm not blaming you for that. I'm not being shitty to you for that.
Yeah.
But I expect you to fucking respect me. And I expect you to do what I fucking tell you to do when you're living under my goddamn roof.
Yeah.
You know? And they don't even want to hear that shit either.
No.
You know, so okay, yeah. So go out, go to fucking school, and you pay for your own fucking books and you pay for your own fucking tuition.
Yep.
And see how hard you have to fucking work to make it. Because
Yeah.
I didn't have that. I didn't go to fucking college. I
Yeah.
went to the fucking school of hard knocks. You know, every job that I ever had, I absorbed every bit of everything I could learn.
Yeah.
And the skill set that I have now is because of the 37 fucking jobs I've had since I was 18. And the skill set that I have is self-taught and self-learned because I didn't get to go to fucking college. But you can, and you are.
Yeah.
And then you want to bitch about having to have a part-time job?
Right.
You better shut the fuck up and check yourself.
Amen.
You know,
Yeah, tell them, shoot. Tell them, yeah.
It's disgusting. And then we're the enemies in the eyes of the government.
Yep.
You know,
That, and I'm just
we
like,
expect more out of our children. We expect them to
yes.
hold a higher standard, and we're not beating their asses. You know,
Right.
you know, like I said, I whipped my kid one time when he said the F word to his mother, and he never did it again, and I never had to touch him again.
Yeah.
You know, but I was there with him, and I was guiding him, and I was showing him the ways of the world, vis-a-vis letting him make decisions and seeing the ramifications of those decisions that he made. And if he made a bad decision and he had bad consequences that came from that, then you know what, buddy, that's on you because you made that fucking decision. You know what I mean?
You can
And
guide them.
That's the way the world works.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
all you can do. We advise. That's what my parents say. Like, we can advise, we can guide you, but you got to make that decision at the end of the. It's you at the end of the day.
and ultimately, it is.
And
it's your world. It's your decisions. It's your life. I'm not living through you. I'm not trying to make you do all the shit that I did and wish I did and force all this shit on you. No. This is your life. This is your time to shine. This is your time to make yourself into your own man or your own woman.
Absolutely.
You know. And I'll stand by that all day long.
Yeah.
Have to. You know. Because they're ill prepared otherwise. You know what I mean? Then they get out in the real world and shit starts fucking smacking them in the fucking face.
Oh, yeah.
With a big fat dick. And then they wonder why they're crying and they wonder why they're hurting and they wonder why they ain't got no money. And they're, I need like $800. No, motherfucker. No.
Mm-mm.
You know? I'm not giving you $800 fucking dollars. You got yourself into this fucking mess. You get yourself out of it.
Right.
You know? I'm not doing that shit. You know? I'm not your fucking bank. I'm not your anything.
Mm-mm.
You know, I've set you up to be a self-sustaining person. And I've taught you the lesson of you have to go with the flow when you make bad decisions. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if you're getting yourself into that shit now, it's going to be even worse later. And I'm sure in the fuck not going to give you $3,000 or $5,000 to get you out of some fucking trouble. So learn the shit now, take care of it on your own. And, because I'm sure the fuck not having family services show up and fucking make me look like a douchebag because I'm being your fucking father. You know?
Absolutely. I said DL Hughley said it best. I'd rather, get whippings for my father than, get beat by the police and get locked up, man.
Yeah, amen.
I said, look, I thought of that, and I'm like, and they shame like I don't know, those folks are they try to shame you, like, did you hit him? Did you do this? Did you do that? And I'm like, yeah, I spanked him.
Yeah,
straight up, I did it. And y'all give me
and
the
I'd do it again.
I would do it again because he did this. He pushed his sister down. He was being disrespectful, and I hit him. And he cried. He went
being disrespectful to his mother or me or any fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're good kids, then you just let them be.
Yeah.
But if they cross you, if they push you, if they think they're somebody that they are not, then it's time for a wake up call.
Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely.
But anyway, brother, I'm beat.
Oh no, yeah, we can end this anytime. Yeah, we gone for a good 3 hours.
I gotta get up again in the morning and do this, and I'm just with everything, the hospital visits I've been through. I've been to 2 emergency room visits this week at 6 hours apiece, and blah blah blah. And I'm tired.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm really glad to have been on your show tonight and hang out with you and smoke and enjoy this fine Perdomo and
absolutely.
And Hawkeye, kiss my white fucking ass.
Oh,
where the fuck did you go? I was hoping you was gonna hang out with us, and you pussed out.
I know.
So you got that coming, brother, because you haven't even been in on the chat since you left. And so
he's probably asleep out there now.
He probably is, and I don't give a shit. But it was like if you wasn't prepared to be here, then you shouldn't have came in the first fucking place. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give him some shit because I was hoping him to be a little more involved in this fucking live stream tonight, and he wasn't.
He even had some jokes and some stuff he was going to throw in, and I'm like, oh, great. And,
and he just, it's cold.
Well, I'm like, come on, man.
I need to go warm my vagina by the fire. Anyway, good time, good show. Ray, I love you. I love your stuff. I'm going to continue to come and hang out with you, and I'll be glad to be on your show anytime you want to have me.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Just, keep supporting Ray, keep supporting me, keep supporting people that are just trying to share their passion for cigars and do real things and realize the work that we put into all this to make this happen so you can come and enjoy it. So anyway, keep it real and peace out. I'll catch you next time.
Take care, Fogey. Y'all check out Fogey on YouTube and follow his social media, and we will do this again hopefully soon.
Yep. And next time, I'm going to send you that Dunbarton bomb, and when you get that, we'll go through some of those cigars together.
That sounds like a plan. I love that. Yeah.
And like I said, pick out the people that got in on the hashtag Chunky thing and tell me who won, and I will they can get with me on my platform and give me their address, and I'll send them a nice little cigar bomb.
All right. Sounds like a plan. I love it, man. Take care, Fogey, and we'll talk again soon.
All right. Peace.
Take care, buddy.
Later.
All right. All right. And that was Fogey, everybody. Thank you for everybody who watched. We had a longer show than normal, but, it's Old Fogey. We always have a good time. Always in the chat. Always a good supporter of the channel. Well respected and everything. So y'all go check him out. He's doing a show at 10. Did he say 10:10? I think it's 10:10 in the morning. Y'all just follow. I've got his link in the description of this channel. Y'all can see when he goes live. He'll do a show in the morning. Actually, in a couple. Actually, about 8 or 9 hours from now. So y'all go check out Old Fogey. He's gonna be talking with a I think somebody who is over one of the shops where he is, and he's gonna have a good conversation with that. I'm gonna try and jump in on that as well, just be in the audience and kind of watching. So hey, Cigar Sharks, I know you're still up too, but you came in at a good time, and y'all can rewatch this as well. It'll go up on my channel, and as always, follow my social medias, follow my pages. If you want more of this, if y'all like more interviews like this, please let me know. Give me some feedback in the community and everything. And follow all the links. If you want to donate, it's there. If you want to send me stuff, email me at raycigarlounge@gmail.com. All that stuff, fun stuff. Y'all know what to do. But until next time, guys, this is Ray from Ray Cigar Lounge. Thanking Old Fogey for stopping in, having a great conversation, real chat, real time. And thank you everybody for commenting and participating. We'll get that hashtag chunky out as well. And it is 3 a.m. I'm gonna sit back and chill for a little bit, finish this cigar, and then I'm gonna go in and get some rest. And Hawkeye, you kind of got out on us, but it's okay. We'll see you again. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your Super Bowl. Be safe. Love you guys. We will see y'all in the next one. And y'all make sure to subscribe to Fogey. His link's in the description below. And that is enough ranting from me. Take care. Y'all have a good night.